What's going on, boys? Friday night, you know what that means. Friday night, classic fight night. Here we go, boys. Wilder fight got postponed. I know, Minnie. We're going to talk about that, actually. There's definitely something to be talked about there, and we are going to get to that. We are certainly going to be talking about a few things tonight before we get into it. You're glad, kinda. I definitely got to hear about that. So, I can watch JT Dillenhall fight at least. How's it going, Jay? What's going on, Wes? How you doing, brother? All right, so tonight we're going to start off with some really good ones. I mean, we got some great ones, but I got to tell a quick story. And we're going to get into some fights, and we're going to talk about some boxing news, and we're going to kind of get into some good stuff, okay? We're not going to waste too much time. Now, before we do that, I do have to show you what I'm drinking tonight. The new beer. It's called Ninja vs. Unicorn. It's a ninja fighting a unicorn. The Double Indian Ale, Pale Ale. I saw it and I'm like, I pretty much have to buy this, dude. I mean, Ninja versus Unicorn. Which always raises the question, who wins? I asked my wife that, and she said, well, you know, I guess it depends. And I said, well, it depends if you allow magic in this bout. Yeah, I had no other choice to buy. I had to buy it. What's that, like 785 double APA? It's an 8%er. I'm excited to try it. I've never tried it. So, yeah, let's see. Yeah, Wes, I knew exactly what you meant, brother. It's good. Okay, let's get into story time really quick, and then we're going to go right into... I like the high percentage, too. Story time really quick, and then we're going to get into a little bit of news, and then we got some great fights. The first one is one of my all-time favorites. This is one of the best knockouts ever in boxing history. One of the most humiliating knockouts in boxing history. So we have to watch it. And it wasn't like a low level versus a high level. It was two guys that were super high level. I got the Big League by Harpoon tonight. Ooh, that's a good one too. McGuber knocks out Dustin P. Ted tomorrow. I did on my YouTube channel. Okay, really quick. On my YouTube channel, I had on Man in the Cage pod. He has a whole podcast, really super well known, dude. Shrek, I am so pumped for UFC 264. We will be live streaming during that. We will definitely be live streaming. Like, I think like 6 o'clock on we'll be doing, 6 o'clock my time. So 8 o'clock Eastern time. Is there a way for me to see what the Twitch guys will be saying? Yes. Hold on. Let me get to fight screen. Okay, there you go. There you go, Wes. It is bigger than Khabib versus Conor. Currently, right now, this is the highest pre-sale pay-per-view. So it's a massive deal. A massive deal. Now look, I sat down with Man in the Cage. He did a breakdown, boys. Listen, he did a breakdown on my channel. We sat there and talked. He did what Dustin needs to do versus what Conor needs to do fight prediction that is literally 30 minutes long. So if you want like to get amped up and you want, I know, man, Minnie, I know. So if you want to get like all the little details, you want to get into like what each guy needs to do, how they need to improve, he gives an amazing breakdown. One of the best breakdowns you can absolutely watch. In fact, the other question I asked him, which was, is Conor McGregor hungry? Is Conor McGregor still hungry? And I think it's a good question. Do you think he's still hungry? Do you think he's still someone that feels like he can get in there and bang and do what he needs to do? By the way, in case you haven't seen it, boys, this was my thumbnail for it. I love doing a little bit of graphic work, but this is my Conor McGregor thumbnail, and let me tell you, if that doesn't make you want to click on a video, I don't know what does. You should. Such adrenaline rush when McGregor start tracking. Yeah, dude, the trash talk was amazing. Thank you, Shrek. Yeah, no, I come out with some very vibrant color. I do a lot of very vibrant color thumbnails. So this is my thumbnail for the actual UFC. Let me find it really quick. 264. This is what my thumbnail looks like for that. This is what we're gonna have tomorrow. Dustin wearing red. He's getting knocked out. You're going by the whole, Star Trek mentality. You've been doing a lot of green and red thumbnails lately. Generally, yeah, I do a lot of, I think blue, I have some purples. There's, depends what I can mix up. Depends how I'm, feeling, But I agree with you. I do a lot of those colors in particular. Red is, my classic I go to a lot of times because it just seems like angry, Oh, thank you, man. But, so, quick story time, a little bit of news. We'll get into the fights now. I've never been a boxing or MMA dude, but for some reason, McGregor gets me super pumped up. Dude, Wes, yes, that's why he's so good. He appeals to a wide audience. Dillian White stepping in for Fury. Okay, so, story time, really quick. I have to show this image, because if you don't see this image, it doesn't make sense. Okay? So I'm sitting there and I'm at work and I'm talking to my designer and, I'm like, this is going to be a big fight this weekend. He's like, oh, who's fighting? I'm like, oh, Conor McGregor's fighting. And he's like, oh, that's awesome. I can't wait. That sounds cool. I'm like, yeah, let me know if you're interested in it. I can help you, find resources, as we all like to talk about here. And and he's like, that's great. And I'm like, yeah, this is going to be a big deal. This is one of those fights. It's kind of like, Rumble in the Jungle. And he goes, what's that? What's Rumble in the Jungle? I've never heard of that. And I go, Ali versus George Foreman. And he goes, George Foreman? I go, yeah. He goes, kind of like the grill guy? Oh my God, boys. It hurt my heart. It hurt my heart to hear that. And I said, George Foreman is that grill guy. Yes. And he goes, oh, he was a boxer? I was like, oh no. No. You don't know that George Foreman was a boxer? And I was just like, okay, look, now to be fair to him, he's like a 26-year-old kid. He doesn't really follow boxing or anything like that. I'm not trying to be too critical of people that are not in the boxing world, but it would just, it hurt me. It cut me a little bit deep. So I had to do what my George Foreman, my favorite golf player. I had to do what any good boxing fan did. And I said, dude, I got to give you a quick history lesson on George Foreman. So I broke down, Frazier beating Ali, and then, Frazier losing to George Foreman, and George Foreman breaking heavy bags and training, and George Foreman being this crazy freak of nature in terms of strength. This is one of my favorite photos in boxing history. And to me, this is one of the best photos ever taken in boxing. To me, this sums up everything you need to know about George Foreman. And if you see this photo, it will always change your opinion of him. And I immediately made the kid Google it. It's George Foreman picking up a cow on his shoulders. George Foreman picking up an entire cow. Oh my God, dude. And so I had to kind of explain that, and then how Ali, people are telling Ali he's gonna die when he fights George Foreman. you know? and like, and then George Foreman coming back and beating Moore to be the oldest heavyweight champion of all time. I had to talk about, and tonight, guys, if you guys want, we can watch Evander Holyfield versus George Foreman, which is one of those fights. It's a little bit brutal to watch, but my God, George Foreman's a goddamn tank in that fight. I love that fight. I agree, Wes. I agree, man. It's fake. It's just a pillow. I mean, George Foreman back in the day, classic George Foreman, like, was just the baddest dude, man. Oh my God. He was so bad. He was such a dude that was just like scared everybody. Classic George Foreman used to hit things and just make them disappear. I mean, young George Foreman was, yeah, dude, never seen that pic. Yeah, Wes, isn't that a great pic though? Isn't that an amazing picture? Like, that tells you everything about George Foreman in terms of who he was. This is another one of my, if I can find another one. There were some really good ones. When he crushed Joe Frazier, man, I mean, that was just, I mean, he was just an absolute monster. Absolute monster. And people don't realize, because, you know, they think of George Foreman. George Foreman's one of the nicest guys in boxing. Like, he's so freaking nice. But there is like this mean side to George Foreman that people don't realize. And he just brutalized people in the ring. I mean, brutalized people in the ring. And like, George Foreman's one of my all-time favorite fighters just because of who he is. And by the way, Butterbean would put him on a stretcher. If you ever want, like, go on Twitter and do an tweet at George Foreman, he'll reply. Like, that's the kind of guy he is. This is a classic George Foreman versus Frazier, man. Dude, his arms were huge back then. His arms are like most people's legs back then. I mean, it was just, he was a machine back then. That's how you do it. Brutalize motherfuckers, make everyone scared. Yeah, that's exactly what George Foreman did, man. He was, I mean, helps you out when it comes into the ring. Oh, dude, he was so, he like, go watch the Ali movie and go look at how people felt about Ali going into that fight. No one had him winning. So that's my little story time. I had to give a history lesson on George Foreman because, you know, the guy I was working with had never heard of him. That's okay, though. Second thing, Wilder vs. Fury is off for right now. It's looking like it's going to be in October due to COVID. Now, I have mixed feelings about this. Mixed feelings. Part of me feels like if you're Tyson Fury and the manager of that camp, why the hell are you not COVID testing everybody and being so careful when you're 2 weeks away? 2 weeks away. I don't get it. You know, like, I just don't get it, man. I was laughing about your coworker, but legit, you told me some stuff I never heard of. I mean, that's why this is fun. Jake Paul should fight Wilder. Jake Paul is going to destroy Wilder. Did Bob Arum go on a rant about how all fighters need to be vaccinated? I don't know, but regardless, like, if you're not going to get vaccinated, if you're Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury got COVID, look, you need to lock down that stuff, man. Jake Paul is my favorite boxer. You need to lock stuff down. I like 2 weeks out from a fight. What's going on there? Like, that to me is an issue. And I think that Tyson Fury is partially responsible because whoever he puts in, you know, charge of that needs to be someone that feels like They can tell people, hey, you got to get tested. Whether you want the vaccine or not, I'm not going to get into that. There's a lot of politics there and all that stuff. I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. But I am going to say that if you're going to be in that world where you're going to be fighting in 2 weeks, you at least need to create a bubble. You got to create a bubble. You got to somewhat create some kind of case so that you don't screw up stuff. So. Oh, God. Jake said he's going to destroy McGregor. Did someone break it to him? I know. I know. It's brutal. So that's where we're at with that fight. But Jake Paul blocked you on Twitter. Minnie, you should take that as a badge of honor. Okay. Fight night, boys. First fight we're going to do. Okay. So that's the news I have for this. They are going to do it. I know they talked about Dillian White stepping in. It's not going to happen. There's a contract. There's a contract. There's a contract. It's just not going to happen. Oh, one last little thing, man. I am adding on, and I'm sure there's going to be no one watching this, but I added on a third network. So we have YouTube, we have Twitch, the two classics, and I added on Trovo. I don't know if you guys have heard of Trovo or not, but Trovo's another streaming platform. I added it, because it's easy. The rules are easy. The quality's good. Everything else. So I added on Trovo as another site. So if you see like a weird green T in chat, that's someone from Trovo. Trovo is a streaming website that is backed by Tencent. If you don't know who Tencent is, they're the Chinese company that owns like Fortnite and a lot of other major things. They're trying to grow it to be a direct competitor to Twitch and a massive streaming platform. Now, that said, it's fairly small compared to like a Twitch or something like that. It's just something I wanted to add on. Get rid of that giant shit. Well, look, they're not stealing much from me. There's no data to be stolen, so I figured, what the hell. Let's see if there's anyone on Trovo that actually wants to watch boxing. We'll see what happens. But just so in case you guys see like a green mark in the chat, that's what's going on. Anyways, so are you guys ready for the first fight of the night? First fight of the night is my favorite. Bring back to America. You come to more like app. Yeah, I've never heard of. Dude, Trovo is an app as well as a website. It's basically Twitch. It's a knockoff of Twitch. That's what it is. It's very, very, very similar, except that if you do Trovo, you have a lot more potential to make money. Now, I haven't signed a contract with any streaming platform, so, we'll see how it goes. But I figured, what the hell? Like, I'll just add it because it doesn't hurt. And guess what? It can seamlessly be integrated. And I'm like, fuck, if there's someone on Trovo that wants to see something, well, what the hell, right? We got YouTube, we got Twitch. Those are my two major, categories. I was like, oh, screw it. Let's just add it. So, first fight of the night. You guys ready for this? I think you guys should be really excited for this fight because this knockout is one of the best. Chase is making the big bucks off Trovo. I wish. Selling your info. I wish. Okay. Ooh, Minnie. Good guess. You're very close. You're very close on that one. It is not that, but it is pretty close to that. It is Manny Pacquiao. It's Manny Pacquiao versus Ricky Hatton, man. Never saw Don't Frey last week. Oh, dude, Don Frey. We'll throw him in. By the way, I got like a copyright strike from freaking Butterbean because I did a Butterbean thing, and for some reason WWE went after me. I'm like, screw WWE. Like, this is stuff from like literally 30 years ago. What the hell? If he says it's his favorite fight, is probably going to be Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, that's a good guess. I saw this one freaking. Oh, dude. Yep. We're going to watch it. And like always, I will fast forward through like boring parts or boring stuff. Butterbean to themselves, yeah, they do. So
move up and down among weight levels with ease. Against the rough and tumble, face-first fighting style of Hatton. Will Hatton have
now you guys have to remember
size to knock out or outpoint Pacquiao? We are about
to
find out.
You're much too popular. The million people watching your stream, I know.
MGM Grand.
Remember, this is back when Ricky Hatton was having 10,000 people go to this kind of fight. Like, Ricky Hatton was so big, man. They miss out on all their money. I know, man, right? He looks like an elf. Look at that Jack Nicholson right there in the front. He fell off hard. Well, I wonder why Ricky Hatton fell off. Oh, because he fought an American, maybe? You know, just saying. Look at Mariah Carey we got. Look at all this. P. Diddy, Jay-Z. Look at this. Star-studded.
So the music world and the
look at this. We got Jay-Z going.
Represented here. Now quickly, let's take a look.
Everyone.
140-pound weight class.
Jim, first, can Manny
physical size really
why is Holyfield at every boxing event, dude?
Several times in recent years we've told you
part of that is a lot of fights have been in Florida and he's a Georgia boy. So where's Barack? This is way before Barack. Back when people gave a crap about boxing. Oh, Shrek.
For three national
anthems.
Here to sing.
We're going to skip over all of that. Here we go. So, look, we got Manny Pacquiao's 30 years old during this fight. 30 years old. Holy cow. Oh, this is 2009. Wes, you're right. Barack was in office at this time. Ricky Hatton was 30 years old. Look at the height, reach, weight. I mean, Manny Pacquiao came in 2 pounds light. I told you, like, if you don't know, Manny Pacquiao walks around like 140. Like, especially back then. You know, look at going into the fight. Ricky Hatton put on 12 pounds. Pacquiao put on 10. I feel as if Holyfield just teleports to once a fight starts. I do too, sure. That's a good one. Well, when this was when Mayweather versus Manny, should have happened. Absolutely, Minnie. The sixth thing is, I would be in these guys' divisions, dude. Yeah, Wes, you would be. So watch what happens here. So this is a good thing, boys. Like, we can watch this. After this, I want to see what you guys think in terms of who did better, Manny or Floyd. We'll do both tonight, and then we'll watch some George Foreman. You guys want to watch some George Foreman tonight?
Pacquiao. A 1-inch height advantage.
Something unusual.
I mean, as much as if you don't like Ricky Hatton brought a massive fan base, dude.
Still the linear champion.
Yeah, exactly. Who destroyed the elf worse?
Second, which has always been considered a psychological sign of status, elected to come out first.
What are we grilling?
I asked him about it just a little while ago.
Wait, did you see that record, by the way?
The long-time junior welterweight champion.
Dude, Ricky Hatton at 140 is 44-0 going into this fight.
The linear champion.
The trash talk was incredible.
Second, which has always been considered
a dude, he was a god back then. He was unreal back then.
Elected to come out first.
I mean, he has the ring belt.
Just a little while ago, he said, Manny Pacquiao is pound for pound the best in the world. That's what I'm fighting for, and I consider myself the challenger for that title. Never heard anything like that.
Yeah, even though he holds officially the world title.
Emmanuel Stewart doing some of this. Imagine losing that. Dude, we'll get there. We'll get there. Is Ricky a Mick? Oh, he's a UK boy.
To get rid of the evidence.
And then listen to the cheers.
Surrounding tonight's bout.
I mean,
Will he
a
actually
lot
join
of
the
people
box,
traveled.
or will
That's the
he
one thing you got to
prove
give to
himself?
Ricky. He
And
had so many
Pacquiao
people
and try to
travel.
establish
Oi,
physical
mate, I'll
advantages
smash
early.
your
Now here
face.
comes Blue Moon.
Oh, I was going to ask, guys. And this is just purely, you don't have to give me exact location. I'm just curious, like, are you guys East Coast? Are you guys Midwest? Are you guys West Coast? Mini, Shrek? Like, I just want to make sure I pick good timing for fights and stuff and when I live stream. Is this like a good timing? I mean, you're East Coast? Okay. I'm just kind of curious. I just want to know time zones so that way I can make sure that I am always, Wes, I know you, buddy. I've known you forever. I just want to make sure that, like, oh, you're West Coast, Mini. Okay. See, I just want to make sure that I can pick stuff so that everyone can kind of watch stuff. That because there's like UK fights, and so for like Mini, that's going to be super early. It's a little earlier in the day kind of thing. I just want to make sure I get a good sense of like timing for everything. I'm originally an East Coast boy. You guys are lucky. You guys have to wait 10 p.m. late. I know, man. Who are you, Jason?
Hatton's crowd relatively
Where am I?
reserved tonight.
I'm in Colorado.
Seemingly thrown off a little bit
Rocky
by
Mountains,
him
baby.
entering first, and the absence of Blue Moon except as a bit of an encore. And now the Filipino
Look at Manny,
crowd
dude.
gets ready for
He
Manny
always
Pacquiao,
smiles before
who
fights.
shows the happiness that all
Two non-American fighters.
I mean, this is such a huge build-up. Look at this. De La Hoya, Marquez, Barrera, Morales. Look at that freaking resume, boys. I feel bad for the Europeans. They got to say, oh, I know, dude.
over the fight for Pacquiao.
UK boys, I feel so bad for him. And he just looks like he's happy to be there. Absolutely. For the rest of the chat, if you hate my shit, dislike my comment. Tell me off and I'll cut back on my comment. Oh, Wes, come on, man.
Let's go to Michael Buffer
You're
now
good,
for
brother.
the official introduction.
You're having a good time.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Imagine living in Ireland and having to pull an all-nighter just to see Conor freaking fight. I know. Dude, that fight tomorrow is going to start, like, the early prelims are, like, legit, like, 4 o'clock for me. I love it. I love it. It's awesome. Dude, good, Wes. You should be having a... Hey, it's Friday night, brother.
Incorporated and Oscar. And now,
Dude, Kenny
with
Bayless.
their places secured in
A
the
legend.
Hall of Fame. Only defending IBO Ring Magazine Light Welterweight.
UFC starts earlier than most. Dude, yeah, it's amazing to get pretty immature. Dude, don't worry about it, Wes. You're good, brother.
And fighting out of the red corner with head trainer Freddie Roach, wearing white with blue, officially wearing.
I know. Well, Wes, you're also not typing on a keyboard, I'm assuming. I'm typing on a keyboard. It makes it a lot easier. Look at this, Manny Pacquiao, brother. So good. Throwback to an old days. I love it. Jaden, what's going on, man? So, Jaden, this is the deal. We're going to be watching this one. We're going to be watching some George Foreman. We're going to be watching some classic fights tonight, as always.
Pound for pound.
You are typing on a keyboard. What kind of keyboard do you have?
Money.
The only thing about UFC is they make sure to put on a show. Oh, dude, yeah, 13, man, fights on that whole undercard. It's incredible. I think Jason mentioned Don Frey. No, we'll do that. We'll do Don at some point. Don's a legend. He's a legend. It's generous if you decide to watch the prelims. I always watch the early prelims and prelims. Just because I have it on. I'm not like invested. I just put it on.
Now, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room.
Classic
Keep the
fight.
Clean at all times. Protect yourself at all times. And what I say, you must obey. Good luck. Touch up.
Here we go, boys.
They are warrior kings with armies of fans.
Yeah, armies of
Follow
an
them
army
to
of
the
fans.
battle.
I agree with that. That's a good way to put it.
Now they will be alone. in the battle.
Listen to that UK fan, man. Those UK fans, say whatever you want about them. Oh, yes, I am live streaming Jaden absolutely during that fight. You better believe I will be live streaming during that.
A lot of exposure to each other.
I've done a few fight predictions. I've done a couple videos on it.
It should not show.
Oh, they do know how to chant, man. Oh, Manny Pacquiao. Look at the... If you do anything in this fight, just watch the footwork of Manny Pacquiao in comparison to Hatton. Look how flat-footed Hatton looks compared to Pacquiao. Pacquiao's bouncing. It's like his legs are made out of springs.
No, what Ricky is doing is what the keys of victory, which we didn't have.
Oh, dude, it is unreal. Look how flat-footed Hatton looks compared to Manny Pacquiao.
Unlike anybody else has ever done before.
It's so unbelievable how good he looks.
The better puncher between the two, so he still must be a little careful.
So Hatton wants to apply pressure.
Oh, dude, absolutely, Wes.
Against Pacquiao's faster hands.
Absolutely. You're not quick unless you're on the balls of your
I
feet.
think he's doing just that.
Hard right hand.
And you can see Hatton trying to pour it on right now.
He comes in. Key element of the game plan for Pacquiao. Allow Hatton to come forward, catch him on the way in.
Hatton's just being super aggressive, but Pacquiao is a technician.
Pacquiao's been more successful with the right than the left.
Boom. Those quick, the speed, the hand speed of Manny Pacquiao is so fast, man.
The left hand is overshooting the target.
This fight is living up to the anxiety that the fans expected and the intensity. It's going to be an important factor to see how Kitty Bayless handles this fight, because it could be exciting and it could end up being a very wrestling type match.
Oh, Manny. Those little quick short shots.
Hatton's face is already red.
I thought Pacquiao landed the right hook.
Such a good fight, man. And Hatton talked a lot of shit going into this. He felt like he had Manny's number. Absolutely felt like he had Manny's number. And Manny's head movement. Oh, those combos, those ones and twos, man. Oh. Manny's just like, I'm going to just punish you at this point. Oh, yeah. His energy changed real quick. Absolutely. Look at this. Manny Pacquiao just hitting him with that huge left. And Pacquiao can smell blood at this point. He smells blood.
Another perfect right hand for Pacquiao. Another right hook.
Oh, and Hatton's hurt. Hatton's really hurt. He's eating it on his chin right now. And he goes down again.
He's down for the second time. This is the brilliance of the Filipino slugger.
Imagine a fight this big and you just go in there and just start dominating. It's almost like a ninja versus a unicorn. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that makes you legendary. The kind of stuff where you rise above everyone else. This is a sponsor. I wish, dude. I wish I was sponsored by this beer company. Amazing, amazing fight. And watch this. Watch this quality work. Boom. Just times him perfectly. That right hook, man. Going into a British crowd, fighting Britain's best boxer and knocking out Britain's best boxer is the most Manny thing ever. Absolutely, dude.
These kinds of clean punches.
I mean, the speed. And the thing is, people don't feel like Manny has power, and then they get in there and they get hit, and they're like, wow.
35 out of 62. 31 out of 52 power shots.
Look at this. A 7-10 round.
In the first round.
This, and we have to remember now.
Look at the angle change. You see that? Hold on. you see that angle change really quick? I'm going to just show it really quick. Watch Manny's footwork right here.
Pacquiao is 35 out
Watch
of
how he
62,
rotates.
31 out of 52 power shots.
But-
Hatton only 8 out of 33.
Okay,
It
I'm
was
getting
a
in the
Pacquiao
clinch with
duel
you. I don't
in the
like
first
this.
round.
And we have to remember
Boom, boom,
now,
change.
although it's a different type of fight.
Those little things, like the way he ducks and then just moves. Oh man, it's a thing of beauty. It really is.
Hatton is not a counterpuncher.
Oh man, that left hand is just beautiful, and Hatton's just eating it.
And what he's going to have to do in this case, sure, he just is try to.
And this
smother
is
it,
why
try to get
people
close.
just never ever count
Just-
Manny
just-
Pacquiao out
Pacquiao
of like a
actually
fight.
just too sharp.
Do Margarito. We could do, we could do some more Manny Pacquiao fights if you guys want. That's for sure. I would never object to that.
You can't just jump all over him. You've got to move your head. You've got to think. You've got to do the things.
I mean, Ricky Hatton was a good fighter, but no, I agree. His head's very stationary.
Pacquiao from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, he knew in the beginning he was going to take the risk of getting caught, and he did. Because, coming in, Pacquiao still is the puncher. The physical strength is still with Hatton, but the punch is still Pacquiao.
Hard left hand by Pacquiao. Stunned Hatton and knocked
Oh
him
my
out.
goodness.
The brilliant accuracy of Manny
Dude,
Pacquiao.
Manny is super entertaining, so I'm fine with that. Yeah, dude,
Misses the
he's
right
like,
hook there.
he's so far up on my list. Actually, guys, I have an amazing little documentary, like a 15-minute documentary that we have to watch. And it's old school and it's like good boxing history. I hope you guys don't mind. Sonny Liston, how much do you know about Sonny Liston? His life was incredible.
Behind the head.
In Hatton's most famous victory over Costa Zoo, he just smothered him and didn't allow him to get off. He can't seem to be able to get close enough to Pacquiao often enough to do that. And
Costa Zoo-
Pacquiao's hands are so quick.
That's the point. Costa Zoo had about a quarter of the speed of Manny
You need to
Pacquiao.
do a stream where you do your own pound for pound best boxer list. Ooh, I like that. Shrek, I like that. I wonder how many Manny's age is going to affect during the upcoming fight. I agree, Jaden. That's like my biggest question by far.
Hatton to time.
I think Pacquiao may have spent the first 2 minutes
I
of this
mean,
round thinking knockout and
this
allowed
kind of
himself to
like
get a little wild.
general pace, this kind of footwork. Manny's bouncing is something that's always amazed me for years. He's always amazed me, and then
Oh my gosh, what a straight left hand. And will Hatton
then
make
that
it
knockout,
this
you know.
Beat the count.
Is that it? And Kenny Bayless says, no way.
And then that knockout.
What an amazing knockout.
I mean, come on, man.
Spectacular one-punch
It's like a
knockout.
video game. It's literally like a video game knockout. Just watch the highlight of this. This is one of the best knockouts in boxing history. Like, it's one of the best of all time.
And I'm
It's
not sure
so good.
if they're doing the right thing by moving Hatton around.
I mean, it's scary how good it is.
Very bad straight stick.
He had shown this kind of power against the best
People just
featherweights.
don't. I mean, here we go. You ready?
Morales.
Take a look at this. Take a look at this.
That's a
Boom.
perfect time.
That
And
was super slow
yeah,
motion.
Yeah, and he never saw time coming in.
Oh, Wes, hold
the
on.
first
You
time
did?
he's
Let me do this.
Thinking
I'll
knockout
play it again for
and
you.
went back to boxing.
Yeah.
Then he got the knockout.
He timed it
Here we
just
go
right.
again. You ready? Look at Bob Arum.
Perfect left hand shot.
Happier than a pig in shit.
Landing 34
No,
of
no,
his
no,
last
Wes. I'm gonna play it right now.
53 shots. 64%.
And Jim, the interesting thing is, before this fight tonight, he had shown
Here it
this
is, right
kind
here.
of power against
Get ready,
the
Wes.
best featherweights.
Here's the slow-mo.
Barrera, Morales.
Take a look at this. Take a look at this.
That's
Boom.
a perfect time.
That was super slow motion.
Yeah, and he never saw time him coming in.
It's the first time he's knocked out somebody like this since he was at 130
Boom.
pounds.
I mean, just starched him.
And Hatton's head hit the canvas very
Oh,
hard.
He
man.
was knocked out as soon as the punch
Double
landed.
jeopardy. He was unconscious from the moment he caught that shot. Goes
Yeah,
to the
and his
canvas
face
in
is
the
right,
proverbial
Wes.
heap,
I mean, just
and boom.
incredible.
Out of our
Incredible
camera range
knockout.
at that angle, the head pounded against the canvas. Here's another look.
Boom. One of my favorite knockouts of all time. So, do you guys want to see the right on the button? Okay, so now this is what we have to do. I have to now do this. We have to do Mayweather versus Hatton. And then I'm going to show you guys, like I said, have you guys watched any Sonny Liston? Do you guys know Sonny Liston at all? Yeah, we got it. We have to do that. Right on the button is right, Jaden. I mean, perfect. Perfect. So, this is the thing. Okay, Sonny Liston has not watched many fights, though. I mean, this is the thing. What we're going to do is we're going to watch Mayweather versus Hatton, compare, have a little conversation about who did better. Do I need to open up my computer room window to take a piss so I don't miss anything? No, you're good, Wes. Go ahead. You got a few minutes. And then what we're going to do is we're going to watch the Sonny Liston video I have that tells you all about Sonny Liston. And let me tell you, it will give you a whole new respect about Sonny Liston and how incredible he is. It's a really, really, really good video. It's so good, man. It's so good. And it's one of those videos that just makes you go, I can't even believe this is a real person kind of thing. I tried logging into my Twitch on my laptop, but it keeps saying they verified me to not be a bot, but never let me log into my account. What's going on with that, Shrek? What the hell's up with that? Well, you could always go over to Trovo. I'm on Trovo if you need to, or YouTube. I'm just kidding. Okay. Here we go. We got Mayweather versus Hatton now. Let's see.
None of which have really satisfied the hunger of this big crowd for some great boxing.
Last May, Floyd Mayweather claimed the most important victory of his extraordinary career when he beat Oscar De La Hoya for a 154-pound title.
Good question.
Mayweather beginning to
Let me double check that. Let me double check that. I want to say I know this answer, but I don't off the top of my head, to be quite honest with you. Okay, so he fought Ricky Hatton versus Mayweather was on 2007. It was before. And then he fought Lascano, and then he fought Paulie Malignaggi, and then he fought Pacquiao. So, that's exactly. This is when he was undefeated. Like, he was like a mean, bad man at this point. And like, this is like a massive fight.
The world junior welterweight champion led a British invasion of Las Vegas when he faced off with Jose Luis Castillo. Upward of 10,000 British citizens made the trip across the Atlantic.
I mean, this is
They
when
witnessed
people
one of
used to
Hatton's
travel
finest
for Hatton
performances.
The perfect left hook to the
in a
liver
way
ends
that
the fight.
so many
I think you
people
saw
wouldn't.
more action in these 4 rounds than you've saw value for money in Floyd's whole career. I'll just leave it at that.
When Hatton made the comment that he made on HBO, Floyd looked to me and said, "Make the fucking fight."
Oh
happen."
man, Ellerby.
The fight sold out
I have
in
a
less than
a
1 hour.
very much
From the
a
moment the contracts were signed, the
dislike
biggest
for
challenge of
Ellerby.
Hatton's career stared him right in the face.
You guys remember that? Oh, dude.
Hatton's relentless
Ronda
action
Rousey could
saw
beat
the will so
Mayweather
many
debate.
before him found impenetrable. Or will Mayweather dismiss Hatton in the ring as casually as he has dismissed him in the run-up to the fight?
What makes Ricky Hatton any different from any other opponent that I faced? All of them got their ass spanked. He gonna get his ass spanked too.
I love Floyd. This is classic Floyd. Money Floyd, like money Floyd Mayweather. When he's just talking trash.
Backyard, Hatton's home court. Floyd Mayweather versus
I know,
Ricky
she
Hatton
did get
is
destroyed.
finally here.
If you watch the actual weigh-in for Hatton during this fight, dude, he looks very heavy. Oh. Okay. Sorry. Hatton looks very bloated during the weigh-in. He looks heavy during the weigh-in.
At about 6 a.m. with fans lining up simply to
Has
get
Floyd
into the
take
arena.
Mayweather taking up that
6,000 of them,
challenge from
predominantly
50
Hatton
Cent?
supporters, sang, chanted, vocalized support for their
Okay, here we
fighter
go.
in one of the
We'll get past
Dancing
this
with the
stuff.
Stars
Look at
partner
that!
from last year, Karina Smirnoff,
AC
who was
Slater.
Floyd Mayweather's Dancing with the Stars partner this year.
Denzel Washington,
makes it to
man.
many of the big
Dude,
fights.
Denzel Washington's
This is quite a diverse
amazing
and
dude.
star-studded
Oh,
celebrity group.
Wesley
Snipes
Snipes.
just on the
You
other
remember
side of
him,
Denzel
dude?
here,
Blade?
closer to the camera. David
Oh,
Beckham
Beckham.
is here to root, no doubt, for his countryman Ricky Hatton. Jeremy Piven. of
Jeremy
Entourage
Piven apparently is a
fame,
really big fan because he's
NCAA
watched
agent Jack
now Brad
Turner
Pitt,
is his
Angelina
word.
Jolie.
Brad
Look how
Pitt
young
and
they are. Look how
Angelina
back in the day
Jolie
this
are
is.
both here as Jack swore they'd be. And Gwen
Oh my
Stefani.
God,
No
dude.
doubt, it is
I'm
quite
just a
celebrity
girl.
group.
Oh, I'm having flashbacks, dude. Did you hear Conor McGregor talk about the Pauls? Yeah, he talked about them being dingbats. Yeah.
They're virtually the same age. Ricky Hatton is listed at 5'6".
Yeah, how he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna like rule it out, but Hasbulla is the best boxer, MMA fighter. Hell yeah, Jaden. Hasbulla is another level. No one wants to fight Hasbulla. Hasbulla is just gonna destroy everyone. He is the face of MMA and boxing.
As somewhat tells the tale of his 140-pound background, and Mayweather has long ago become accustomed to making 147 the welterweight limit. Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside
I want to fight
scorer,
Hezbollah for
Harold
red.
Letterman.
The Floyd Mayweather
Hey,
Ricky
Nate.
Hatton fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using the unified rules of the
Okay.
Association of Boxing Commissions. There is no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight. Case occurs
2 years ago, but he has a
There's-
long history
there
of
we
having
go.
been cut in fights.
Oh,
There
God.
are
Yeah,
some
dude.
in the media rows behind us. Some
Oh, fun thing to note. I don't think I can put the video on. It's Joe Rogan talking to Tim Dillon, and I don't know if you guys know Tim Dillon. He's a stand-up comedian who has a podcast, and he was saying, I want to get Hasbulla like on my podcast. I want to bring him to the U.S. I'll pay him $10,000. And Joe Rogan's like, dude, I'll pay him $10,000. I'll absolutely pay him $10,000 and like have him come here, and I want to interview this kid. What about Hasbulla versus Butterbean? Oh boy, I was proven I was human. Why don't you? Oh my God, dude, Twitch is so freaking
sports
a
writers who
mess.
have- Let's go to Michael Buffer.
Okay, here we go.
Floyd Mayweather insists that Ricky Hatton should appreciate that he is getting a chance to fight him. Let's see how Ricky Hatton shows
This
his
is
appreciation.
a really good fight.
You like watching
This is when like Floyd was so slick. He used to hit so much harder too.
2008 or 2009.
Like his hand speed is amazing.
His last fight for at least 2 more years. He said, "I don't love boxing." Hatton would never say anything of the sort.
Right here, you see the difference in the speed of Ricky Hatton as compared to other opponents of Floyd. Even when Oscar fought it, the foot speed in addition to the upper body movement.
I may take a new Twitch account for your laptop. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I have multiple.
Accuracy of Floyd Mayweather's punching is one of his biggest weapons.
Look at Floyd's hands, boys. You know Floyd's feeling comfortable when his hands though like that low. His hand speed is so fast. You know when Floyd's really comfortable, his hands are so low. He was so snappy back then. Absolutely, Jaden. That's a great take. Like, dude, he's just like every time you want to come in, I'm gonna use beautiful right hand. That left was so good.
Landing his counter shots.
Guys pulling his pants up.
Even though he hasn't landed, he's putting pressure that Floyd is
I mean, Floyd's just so quick. Every time, you know.
Should bring a thunderous roar from the crowd, or at least as long as Hatton is punching.
Floyd stumble a little. Look at the crowd go ballistic.
Floyd move a lot faster than he wants to.
This is how, by the way, real quick, this is how you see like good level to elite level. Watch what happens here with Floyd. I'm going to adjust. I'm going to move more. I'm not going to get tripped.
When he gets here, Hatton has to try to do damage.
Watch how his movement's going to increase.
He says that the fallacy for most fighters has been that when they get Floyd into close quarters,
some people need to give Floyd some credit for, I mean, dude, you can't knock him in terms of what he did and how he was. Like, there are certain fights you can be critical of him. I'm not saying he's like the best fighter ever. He's not the best fighter in the world for me. But he is incredibly talented, and his ring generalship and IQ is so smart.
It's the British Bulldog.
I don't respect anyone that kick my ass. I'm literally eating ice cream with my AC on. It's so hot today.
That's what Floyd is going to have to do to get some
yeah,
respect.
dude, it was hot here too. It hit 100 today. I was just like, oh God. So, like, after this round, you know, this is where we see, like, a huge difference. Huge difference. You know? Like, freaking Mayweather changes things up big time. Big time. And this is where, like, good fighters shine. Look how young Leonard Ellerbe is right here, by the way, boys. Look how young he is.
Fans around the arena standing up as if they are trying to interpret and decode.
I mean, it's not like Maine doesn't hit 100 either there, Wes. I mean, the humidity here is way less. Everyone's paying big bucks for you to come back. I would love to come back to Maine. There's just no jobs. Made a second count. Tell me to make sure I'm not a bot. Pass test. Tell me well done. Does not sign me into account. Make sure. Oh my God, dude, that's ridiculous.
And I think that's pretty accurate. But it's just the tempo that.
Just sign into Trovo. Trek, just sign into Trovo. You're all set.
The first round for Ricky Hatton. Perhaps thinking that it was a Hatton round in terms of ring generalship.
Yeah, I think, but punches landed, I'd have to say for the ring.
It sounds like a good. I'm telling you, man. Trovo's the future. Tencent has ungodly money. Maybe not like quite Amazon money, but pretty high up there. This is when Floyd starts to time Ricky Hatton in this fight. he starts to really understand Ricky's like general game plan. Was Sugar Shane the only who I would say significantly, I would say like Jaden, that's a good call. Like Sugar Shane was the one that like really rocked him.
Cortez with a tutorial.
I mean, a lot of people hit Floyd, but Sugar Shane like hit him. China, I know.
Exactly the way that Rick is coming in, you always want to leave yourself open. So he's determined evidently that he's going to do.
But hey, there's a billion people there.
Figure that his steel would pay
That's a
off
lot
because he
of
could get
people.
closer and eventually wear out.
This is when Floyd like really is the HBO logo doing the cha-cha. Oh, dude, no, it really is. Yeah, real smooth. I know. This is like way back.
At a time, and some of them have been very effective.
But so far, he's keeping
I mean, Floyd's really starting to figure things out a little bit. And Ricky's overextending. This is where Ricky had problems. Overextending, being way too aggressive. There's no patience to Ricky in this fight right now. No patience. And like Floyd is a guy that loves to fight 12 rounds. Like he's so about 12 rounds. He's thinking, if I have to do this for 12, how well can I do this for 12? How well can I do this for 6? How well can I do this for 8? Ricky's not thinking that. Ricky Hatton is thinking, I'm going to try to knock him out right now. And this is the difference. Like, this is the difference between their mentality. Because Ricky Hatton can't do this for 12 rounds. He can't do this for 12 rounds. Floyd can do the stuff he's doing right now for at least 8 to 10 rounds, no problem. There's Oscar De La Hoya I'm seeing in the front row. I mean, to me, this is where you start to see a different level.
Now wraps an arm under Mayweather's left arm, and round 2 is a scratch and sniff affair.
I mean, this is the level of fandom you have where they're bringing drums and trumpets to your freaking matches. Next time you're in Portland, you should do a live stream from Portland Boxing Club. Oh, dude, Portland Boxing Club. I gotta stop in there, man. They have some good fights in there. That's someone I've always wanted to do that. I may have gotten drunk and said that before, but no. You never recommended that. Look at the thrown versus landed percentages. You know, this is where Floyd isn't worried. He's still feeling fairly fresh. I feel like Ricky is just, that aggression is good, but it's not smart aggression. It's a little bit reckless, and we'll see that here. Look at the footwork of Floyd compared to Hatton. If you want to look at like movement, watch Floyd's movement compared to Ricky's movement. From what I heard, Portland Boxing Club is pretty legit. It is. Dude, it's very legit. Yeah, no. It's like, it's a no joke. I actually know some people that have come out of there that have gone pro. It's not a workout club. It's not like a gym. It's a legit boxing place.
This is where Hatton wants to fight the fight.
So, Ricky, right now, you can see what Floyd's trying to do. He's trying to frustrate him, trying to utilize, the clinch. And Ricky is just like kind of getting frustrated, kind of getting antsy. Floyd, though, he's fine. He's just landing those shots.
Mayweather, Hatton goes past it and gets him in against the ropes.
Big thing here is Floyd's just like, I'm going to frustrate you. I'm not going to let you do what you want to do. You come in, I'm going to do this. Cool thing is, I used to vandalize everything around the... Oh, dude, Wes, don't even get me started. I think, like, statues of limitations are probably in order at this point, Wes. So, yeah, I know what you mean. How about The Zone? Remember that, Wes? The Zone?
He doesn't have the mentality plenty of throwing combinations anymore.
That's all I'm going to
This
say.
guy's attacking him with a much more intensity.
That's
I
all
think,
I'm
than
going to say.
Austin the
I'm
other
not going
guy.
to say anything
And
other
you
than
still
that.
look at Ricky's feet. He's still he's bouncing, springing, changing angles
Yeah.
and attacks, and that's something that Floyd is not used to. Everybody else
So anyways, this is where like Ricky continues to just, he lunges a little bit. He just is very aggressive. Floyd, he's like, I can do this forever. Actually had the police pick me up and bring me home.
comfortable in this situation that I've ever saw him in any of his
Portland
professional
PD
fights.
is good like that at least. They don't go too crazy.
That guy with a choke.
They kick me, yeah, exactly.
Hatton keeps coming. Mayweather strafes him with another right hand. Floyd Mayweather's right hand counter shot.
This is where like, I mean, Ricky is just so. I think this is where he really made some big mistakes.
From the right hand shot.
Mayweather without a beard looks weird now. I know.
Celebrated cut.
Now we're with Mayweather with hair plugs. I just enjoyed climbing the rafters. I mean, yeah.
Behind and comes to work for Hatton. Ricky
I used to just enjoy exploring their like abandoned buildings, just like climbing in there and checking stuff out.
And Nick Williamson leaps into the ring.
Okay. There we go, boys. Ricky right now getting a little bloody, but overall, I mean, Ricky's very much the aggressor. That's not a good cut in a good location, but it's not too nasty. Not too bad.
That inside stuff will take more out of him than you because you're stronger than him. Yeah, you understand? The only was going to be hard early, yeah?
I spent 2 days letting the air out of the front tire on a front end loader.
Here you see Floyd laying a
I mean,
right-hand lead,
this
which
is
has
when
been probably his
Floyd
most effective
was
punch
trying to
tonight.
find
And he's
just
been
like,
getting away with that
I'm
a
going to
lot. He
frustrate
lands it
you,
and then he
you know, do
smooths
this
right
for
into
the
smothers his
entire
opponent
time.
after that.
Tire never went flat. I wonder
And
why.
I think that was the punch that caused the cut.
You know, I think that
CombiBox averages per round through 3. Mayweather 10 out of 30. Hatton 6 out of 30.
having
Mayweather
patience
landing
is
at
a big thing.
33%
I'll make a
rate.
Trovo
Hatton
account
landing
tomorrow.
at a 20%
Try
rate.
it out.
Neither
I
man
mean, if
throwing
you
many
like it, you
punches.
like it.
Neither man having time to throw
I just wanted to add it because I feel like, hey, I'm super open to all different kind of platforms. There we go. Here we go.
Rushes in, and you know what he's going to do. How many of you guys in 3 rounds?
I mean, right now, you can see that Floyd now. This is where the tide, tide starts to get a little turned a little bit. Don't accept Jason's China shit.
The reason for that, Harold, I believe, you tell me what you think.
I think Hatton's like kind of in the lead in this fight for aggression. The ring generalship from Hatton is really good. But Floyd just, I mean, he's playing the long game. And we're starting to see little cracks kind of happen right now.
Kind of sneaky quickness that Hatton has.
At least China will verify me in their database. They sure will.
He's getting a chance to pull Mayweather to the ropes.
I have a quick story after this about China. If you want like some craziness, Shrek, I'll tell you some real interesting stuff. I've been to China
And you know, Mayweather's doing the same
quite a
thing
few
over
times.
the right hand lead, right hand lead, right hand lead.
It'll blow your mind, man.
He's pulling back. He's not doing any jabs, any body punches, or any combinations at all.
At this point, it looks like Hatton's like a little bit slower, just a little bit.
At least in the first half of the round.
And now Floyd looks like the fresher fighter. Hatton was the coolest trunks ever. I mean, he has some really nice trunks.
Floyd Mayweather is now, as they get to the
Gotta
second
appreciate
round,
the style.
landing accurate counter shots and snapping Mayweather.
Well, he's getting desperate. He's getting frustrated. This is like the classic case of getting frustrated.
If forced to, which he has to do tonight, he's got to.
Oh, big shots. This is when Floyd starts just like picking him up. Yo, Zuckerberg will verify you on Facebook.
Interesting round. First minute of the round definitely belonged to the Hatton.
Oh, no. Here we go.
Belonged to Mayweather.
Here we go.
Still on the table now as we go down the stretch.
And the blood is coming out again.
After those free swinging shots
There we
by
go.
Mayweather, you can understand why.
Don't worry, Shrek. I just deleted them.
Go to the body, but Cortez pulls him away.
I deleted them.
This is definitely not Dancing with the Stars.
I mean, this is look at the difference in this round compared to the last round for Hatton. Hatton had already done so much work, and now Floyd's downloaded it, knows what you like, don't like.
Very good round.
He only requires your life records, exactly, Wes. And this is where Floyd just starts to take over, and he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing at this point. I do think at this point we can safely say that Manny Pacquiao was looking like the much better fighter. If you're wondering why Mayweather maybe didn't want to fight Manny Pacquiao at this point in his career, I think you can assume why.
Keep running that shit in the middle. Keep touching that. Just nullify it.
Dude, yeah, he was patient. He was patient, and that shows a level of maturity, honestly. Like a really high level of maturity.
You're too close to getting leverage. He's getting more stuff to the head. You can't get to the body because you're too close.
But
understand?
you can see why Floyd wanted nothing to do with Manny Pacquiao at this point in his career.
Here you see Ricky Hatton so anxious
Boom.
coming forward, not moving his head as much as he should, and Floyd is pinpointing all of his shots. And this is the first time in the fight that Floyd has put punches together. Before, he would just land one punch and then go into a clinch, but this time he put combinations together.
And 11 of Mayweather's
Okay,
15
here we
total
go.
connects in the round came in the last 2 minutes, according
It's
to
all
Tony
down
Robbins.
here from here. I mean, all downhill. All downhill.
1/3 of the way through the fight.
I mean, Hatton's trying,
War of attrition.
but it's not much.
Stamina will be a factor coming down the stretch in this fight if Hatton's eyes hold up and he can make it into the late rounds. This is the kind of work he did against Costa Tszyu. Backing Tszyu into the ropes and scraping
I mean,
hard shots on the inside.
Thing I like about Floyd, the thing I like about Floyd here is just like he's starting to break down his opponent, like just starting to break down Hatton, make him so like every time I engage, I'm gonna lose the engagement. That's where I like this kind of Floyd, right? Ricky gave up. I mean, Ricky he got beat, man. He got beat. And Ricky just was, Ricky was a little bit one-dimensional in a way. That aggression, all this stuff is so good on fighters that aren't at this level. When you like get to that elite level guys can change things. They can make adaptions. They can change who they are or how they're fighting. Ricky's a little bit one-dimensional in comparison to that. I always found Floyd so interesting on how he would just slowly dissect his opponent. I mean, absolutely. It's why I like Lomachenko, too. Loma does the same stuff. Then Floyd became a douche. I know.
Hatton lands an uppercut. Got him a couple of body shots. Takes a little right hand on the inside.
I mean, the big thing for me is like dissecting versus like being too interested in downloading, right? That's what we learned with Loma versus Lopez. Granted, Loma was hurt, but still, you get what I'm saying.
If Hatton can get Mayweather back to the ropes, he can probably seal the deal on this round.
This has definitely been a Ricky Hatton round here.
The HBO logo is getting on my nerves. Dude, don't worry. It's the last time. It won't be there for long. It won't be there for too long.
Back to the ropes, and once again goes to work against his ribcage. Only 15 seconds left in the round.
What Hatton said was that his heart would explode before he lets up for 1 second. And certainly in this round, he has not let up for 1 second.
That was a Ricky Hatton round. That's the way he wants to fight.
I mean, Ricky Hatton was just so aggressive, dude. I mean, so aggressive. Look at that old school rock star logo, man.
Keep running your shit up the middle. Don't worry about all that bullshit. Keep running your shit up the middle.
This is the kind of corner I want to see. Just don't worry about it. Just do your thing, man. Like, just keep doing what you're doing.
Carroll and Ray Hatton seated at ringside.
You know?
There for all of Ricky's fights, and you can see the worry on Carroll's face and in the way she holds her hands. Ricky made some fascinating comments in our 24/7 series on HBO about the things his mother will say.
Check out that nice-looking lady with the sign.
Almost bringing him to laughter, he says, to hear his mom say, "Get out of the way, don't let him hit you." Relatively elementary things. And Ricky, of course, with his dry wit, saying, as if I had
Ricky at this point, man, McGregor versus pink-suited guy.
Mayweather only 5 out of 19. Again, the round was fought.
Look, you can have lots of money, but that's not going to buy class. As we saw with Dumb and Dumber, just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean you're going to be very classy.
Still, the cleanest, hardest punches landed in the fight are Floyd Mayweather counter right hands. Over the years, he's developed that.
My money is on Pinky.
Right hand counter shot into an almost unstoppable weapon. He's quick with it. He disguises it with his lead shoulders. He throws it very accurately.
Look at this. Ricky trying to get a little bit dirty.
Crowd thunders its appreciation as Hatton almost gets penalized.
Oh, he will sail away on his yacht, which was a purple suit. Yeah. Back of the head, losing a point. This is where, like, dumb mistakes will absolutely wreck you. Look at this.
He's saying that Mayweather turned his back.
Absolutely. Ricky is trying to be overly aggressive. Just, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Shrek, you saw exactly what happened. And now McGregor, I mean, God. Mayweather gets a little bit nasty. He gets a little bit nasty here.
Well, what he's got to do is not get angry, but get even by trying to win the round, which would make it an even round.
Stop.
Well, getting the crap beat out of him, yeah, I know. I mean, the aggression from Ricky at this point gives him maybe 2-3 rounds. It's like, it's fairly even at this point in the fight, technically. But, as we know, who's doing a lot less effective work? It's Ricky.
Inside by Hatton, he simply throws with much greater frequency when they're in.
Who's doing the less effective work, but working twice as hard? It's Ricky.
Yeah, it's very effective.
Now Hatton offers a right-hand lead to try to change the tempo in the center of the ring. Mayweather kind of plays.
This is why this fight's interesting. You saw the Manny Pacquiao fight in comparison to this one, right? It's a 2-year difference, but still.
Not going to be an easy fight to score. This crowd is boisterous.
I mean, this is such an electric fight. Just from using Trovo without an account, it's already looking 10 times better than Twitch. Dude, that's because Trovo lets me use 10,000 kilobytes per second in comparison to Twitch, which only lets me use 6 max.
Here you see Ricky
Trovo is gonna let me use like HD immediately. That's why. I'm 1080p on Trovo.
Because Floyd fights about 20%
So,
of his fight doing that, turning his back and forth.
You know, all that Fortnite money, it still has less lag than Twitch. Interesting. I didn't know that, Shrek.
Well, he may have grazed it, but
I want to embrace just new platforms and try different things, so interesting enough. Not saying you have to switch, be it whatever platform you like, but Ricky gave up. I mean, Ricky just, look at this. Look at that. Look how close this is. Ricky's winning on the unofficial scorecards right now.
I don't think there's an excuse for that. Ricky Ricky Hatton, I gotta say this much about the cut man. In England, they only use a
But,
adrenaline
I mean-
1000. In the United States, they use Aventine and Thrombin, which gives a U.S. cut man a tremendous
You have to always
advantage.
remember
Keep
with
that in
fights,
mind, Jim.
whoever does the
Anyway,
cleaner
Ricky
work.
Hatton by 1 point.
A scorekeeper's drunk? Probably a little bit. It was 2009.
Some of you may know that in his other life,
Remember,
Harold Lederman is
cleaner
one of
work
his
always looks
familiarity
really
with the
good to
chemistry of
judges.
cuts.
Always.
Harold, surely Mick Williamson, Hatton's cut man,
Oh,
has
that
availed himself of the
uppercut.
opportunity to use
Now,
it.
look how sloppy Ricky Hatton's getting right now.
Every time I've seen the cut man from the UK, they don't know how to use Aventine. You have to have a certain expertise with it. They don't know what thrombin is. They swear by adrenaline 1 to 1,000. The U.S. cut guys rely on Aventine and thrombin mostly. They throw in the adrenaline as well.
Well, whatever
Don't let the
he's
crowd
using now,
noise
it seems
get
to be
you like
working
too
pretty
amped
well.
up.
I mean, about 10
This go
minutes
right.
ago,
Wait,
we
wait,
thought
wait.
this
Hold on.
fight could end prematurely. About 10 minutes ago, we thought.
There's this one woman that's haunting me in the crowd.
Surely
He's
now,
haunting
that's
me.
for sure. And Ricky Hatton continues
To be working
This
pretty
one
well.
right
I
here.
mean,
This one.
about 10
The woman
minutes
in the
ago, we
big
thought
sunglasses.
this fight
I
could
keep
end
looking at her and she keeps creeping me out, man. Like,
doesn't seem in danger of ending prematurely now, that's for sure. And Ricky Hatton
she keeps
continues
just
to
looking
round
into.
around
You
to
gotta
control
wonder
the
who
real
she
attack,
is.
or at least to be able to get Floyd Mayweather maneuvered against the ropes often enough to be fighting more his fight than Mayweather's fight. Doesn't mean that he's landing clean, hard punches. Floyd Mayweather does that when they're in the center.
So
of the
here
ring.
we go. This is when Ricky Hatton gets more into kind of like getting tired, trying to like, assert himself, make it dirty.
Incidentally, just to button
Yoko
the discussion
Ono?
about cut technique. No, Mick Williamson is not using the American available Aventine, using, as Harold Lederman suggested exactly he would, the 1 to 100 adrenaline solution that they use in England.
Listen, they're talking about the different solutions. I wish modern boxing would do this. I love that.
On the bottle. And you have to have it fresh. It's something that has to be fresh.
This tutorial
Has
is a
gotten
little
too
bit
arcane.
more.
Yes.
Is it Jackie Chan in the background?
20 seconds to go in round
It looks
7.
like he might be. Modern boxing commentators suck. I know, I agree with you, Shrek.
Last month,
They're
we
terrible,
had a
some of
fight
them.
between Cotto and Mosley.
Oh.
Fight that everyone expected to go about the way it did.
I mean, some of them are really bad. Chris Mannix is god awful.
Ugly, close quarters,
God awful.
brawling fight.
Suddenly, at the end of
BK
that round, Ricky
seems
Hatton
like
was
he's
able
like
to make
on
Floyd Mayweather miss
freaking coke
with
the
those
entire
right
time.
and left-hand shots.
So excited. DAZN's, yeah, DAZN has the worst, no question. No question. DAZN's by far the worst. You need to educate announcers for. I mean, I wish I could, man. I wish. Look how young Ellerby is in that freaking video right there. I mean, it's so bad.
I mean, you've got to get some clean work in.
Let's see how many landed and how many he missed. Mayweather at the end of the round, right hand leads. Oh, this is a package of right hand leads from throughout the fight.
Some of them are
Early in the fight when he was
okay.
landing right hands flush.
Sergio
several
Mora,
times and punishing Hatton in the center
I
of the
don't
ring.
love him.
These
But
have
he's
been
not
most
the worst
damaging
thing ever.
blows thrown so far, and we
He's
believe
like,
it was one of those right hands which created the cut.
Tim
Over
Bradley,
Ricky Hatton's right
I don't
arm.
mind. Andre Ward, I like a
Toward the
lot,
end of the last
actually.
round, Mayweather flurried and seemed to
Oh,
miss
Showtime's
with both of his right
excellent.
and left-hand shots.
Showtime's almost
However,
always
Box
like
numbers
top
in round
notch.
7, Floyd Mayweather 12 out of 36.
Out of all of
Hatton
them,
6 out of
Showtime's
41.
always very high.
Mayweather, as was the case against De La Hoya, by far the more accurate puncher.
Damn, that was a yeah, face blast and a half. Yeah, dude.
Ricky Hatton, who reached out and grabbed Floyd Mayweather. After
Dude,
Mayweather
yeah,
connected with
absolutely.
Roberts.
Showtime knows
Now
exactly what
Mayweather
they're doing.
takes Hatton back against the ropes. Reversing the pattern.
I can't stop thinking about tomorrow. I can't wait. I know, Jaden, me too. I can't wait for that fight either.
Good punch.
Floyd is really.
He's mixing up his attack.
Look at this. Floyd's just starting to pick him apart. Look at the round. 8th round. God, that freaking clock is so annoying. That weight gave me chills. Oh, dude, the weigh-in was so good. So good. It's like old school freaking Conor McGregor, too. Look at this. Look how much fresher Mayweather is right now.
Mayweather has huge advantages when they're out there.
I know. Poor Ricky. I mean, I somewhat feel bad for Ricky. Like, there's like moments I'm like, oh, poor Ricky. At the same time, I'm like, you talked a lot of shit. You talked a lot of shit.
Al Hatton's back to where he wants to fight.
You know, like it's one of those kind of things. I also have a. That's Charles Barkley I'm seeing in the background right now. I have an interesting kind of like take on like UK boxing fans. Maybe not interesting, but I have a general like take on UK boxing fans. There's Charles Barkley. You see him, guys? Right here. Right here. He's right here. Wait for it. Wait for it. In the right angle, you can see him. You can fucking train forever. And yeah. But yeah, going that many rounds. You gotta steam like crazy. Look at this. Look how out of steam Ricky is right now. Ricky's hurt. He has no gas in the tank. And look at Floyd in comparison, man. Look at Denzel Washington. You see Denzel? There's P. Diddy right there. And you got Denzel Washington over here just like talking shit. I love it. Denzel's like, oh, look at Floyd going to work, baby. I would be curious if Denzel replaced Will Smith for the Ali movie. Not saying I don't like what Will Smith did, but I'd be curious how that would kind of go. What was that movie that he was in? Hurricane? Hurricane when he played a boxer?
You can beat him inside. You ain't got to walk away from that motherfucker. You hurt him.
Ricky right here starts to fall apart. Look at the landed and thrown right now.
Listen, it's okay. Still ain't fighting back there, though. Listen. As soon as he starts over, he close him down, right?
You're out of stream like crazy?
Yep, I say it right.
What do you mean, Wes? Like timing's out?
You see Floyd landing a lot of clean, effective punches this round. Even
oh, out of steam like crazy. Sorry, I read that wrong.
Effective punches the way that Floyd is. Floyd has been effective with the right hand all night long.
That was a landslide round from Mayweather, who by CompuBox count landed 26 out of 46 power shots.
Was it I Am Legend? No, it was Hurricane. That's the one he was in.
So now Hatton needs something of a comeback as Mayweather has climbed into the lead on Harold Letterman's scorecard.
Okay, so watch this. This is when like Ricky's still doing that flat-footed, I'm coming forward kind of BS. And Floyd's like, I'm going to show you something right now.
A round like the last one shows you why when CompuBox
pretty sure it was I Am Legend.
and defines them in plus-minus terms, percentage of punches connected versus percentage of punches connected against them, Floyd Mayweather has by far the most positive plus-minus rating of any fighter in the sport.
He boxed that zombie like nothing.
Huge difference between Mayweather's connect.
I mean, Mayweather's still so much fresher. That lead left is just so incredible right now.
His hat slowing down, Emmanuel.
Yeah, I said he cannot afford to get tired and slow down because he does.
Mayweather's just so much snappier. Like I think Jaden said, so snappy, man. So snappy, and it's the 9th round. Oh, Mayweather.
There's still little patches where Hatton gets to fight the way he wants to fight and seems to get the better of it.
But he's still not landing the clean blows. It is trademark left hook to the body. He hasn't landed that all night.
Floyd would die if he fought Butterbeat. Yeah, 400 pounds to 140 pounds. Oh, my God. That would be insane.
This does nothing
I'd
to
pay a
dampen
lot of
the
money for that
enthusiasm
fight.
of Hatton's followers, as you can hear.
Well, he's moving in, but he keeps his head straight there. He doesn't
Floyd's
move. You
just
can
like,
almost
okay.
get a sense when
I
Floyd's
think
gonna
at this
punch on him.
point,
He
he's
just
just
tries to move his head, but he
downloaded
just
so much
so anxious to
information.
get to him that he's not even preparing for punches to come back.
And Hatton's starting to really slow down. Floyd's just having fun at this point. I mean, this is why you have to be a 12-round fighter, man. Speaking of tomorrow, Conor McGregor has to be a 5-round fighter tomorrow.
A weapon we don't see all that often. It's almost as though he disdains it from time to time. Somewhat in the fashion.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be.
Now there's that straight right hand again and again. Mayweather grinning.
Floyd's legit playing games once again. Tomorrow night, I'm going to make this man pay for it. Oh, yeah, with his life. I saw that, Jaden. And I mean it. You're dead in the octagon tomorrow, Conor McGregor. I remember that, dude. That was a incredible quote from today. I saw that. I hope Conor wins, but Dustin's not an easy fight. Boys, Jaden, Drek, all you guys, if you want to check out either my 30-second prediction on my YouTube channel, if you want to see the full breakdown for Man in the Cage, we have that on my YouTube channel. We have this whole video on like whether or not Conor McGregor's hungry or not. Ton of content just for this fight because it's that big of a deal. It's a massive deal. Massive deal. Oh, I know. It's like old school Conor, right? I know. Actually wanted to win. I mean, dude, it's that classic Marvin Hagler moment where it's hard to do road work at 5 a.m. when you're wearing silk pajamas and you just feel like Conor took off the silk pajamas. You know what I mean? Like he's just done with that. He's not training on a yacht. You just feel like there's a little bit more hunger there now. And that's what makes him so dangerous tomorrow.
Almost as if he wanted to show he could do it, Floyd Mayweather unveiled his jab in round 9 and landed 11 of 15 of them. 73% connect.
Here we go.
Ricky Hatton was 0 for 8 with his jab. Harold, how do you have it tonight?
Okay, Jim. 5-3, 1 even, 86, 84. Floyd Mayweather. Jim, he's starting to move. You see, just as I said early in the fight, where Ricky Hatton rushes in, Floyd Mayweather skips back, gets off.
This is when Ricky Hatton was still like people thought he was so dangerous right now.
In case you're wondering about the indomitability of Hatton's fans, remember that
listen to this crowd, man. It's okay. Only 1 out of 10 road workers are doing the actual, I mean.
A victory would leave him once again dead level with his Welsh compatriot, Joe Calzaghe, who's 44 and 0. They've been stride for stride.
I mean, oh, there it goes. And this is where it all falls apart. All falls apart.
That tells you everything you know.
And he is on shaky legs. Yeah, he's on shaky legs. He's got to bide time here.
Well, he's not the type
Floyd
of fighter
has
who knows how to
2
do it.
minutes now. Only now it's falling apart. I mean, I know. This is like another level, like house is collapsing level.
Floyd Mayweather has a knockout victory over Ricky Hatton.
Mayweather dealt with a situation or a fighter he's never been confronted with before.
And it brought the best out of him.
That was, I mean, that just.
Closed the show.
A brilliant performance, and he could show you why he's the best.
Here we go. Here's the slow-mo. I got to show you guys slow-mo. You guys know this. I'm going to fast forward so you can see some good slow-mo.
Best performance tonight.
Floyd was just so cool, calm, collected in this fight.
At some points in the early rounds.
Now there's the debate. Who did it better? I think it's clear that Manny did it better at like 2 years later.
That punch in the right hand.
But it was 2 years later.
Hatton going head first into the ring post, which certainly didn't help.
Well, he didn't see it because his mind was all on offense. Plus, I think he was getting a little fatigued at that stage.
I think
And then
that
this is the end.
Floyd
Another
did
flush
it
left hook,
Floyd's
a straight right
way.
hand, and before Mayweather
Although
could land
Manny
another
was
punch,
better,
Joe
but I feel like
Cortez pulled
Floyd
Mayweather
strung.
away,
Yeah,
his hat
I mean,
collapsed into the
yeah,
corner.
absolutely. I
Completely
want
done.
that dude's hat, the one with all the pins.
2 left hooks.
He was doing that move multiple times in this
Very
fight.
accurate
If you,
punches.
yeah, absolutely,
He's a
Jaden.
tremendously accurate puncher.
This is like download, like
Statistically,
classic
the most
Floyd,
accurate
just
in the sport.
downloading stuff.
And you saw it again tonight. Never has it been more clear who's the world's #1 pound-for-pound fighter. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the...
Okay. Here we go. So, you guys, okay. This is a video. You wouldn't download a car. Okay. So, we have, let me get this set up. Let me get this set up. Okay. Okay. So Wes was more fun to watch. Interesting take, Minnie. I think that's not a bad take. I felt like I enjoyed Pacquiao's because it was more immediate. But I think that to say, like, he's more entertaining because you're seeing more of a fight and, like, more of a game plan being implemented. That's not a bad take. Okay, let me get this. Let me see. Shh, Wes, don't tell people. Okay. Let me get this. I never liked Floyd, respectfully. I mean, it's tough to like Floyd in certain elements. Because, like, classic Floyd is just... It's hard, man. It's hard. He was not a dude that was well liked. For a reason. For a reason. So, I understand that. I totally get that. Okay. So, on the request of Wes, we have to do this. Pretty Boy Floyd was great. Never a great... Oh, yeah, I like that. I like the Pacquiao fight more. I agree with that. Here we go. So, by due request, much request, we have Don Frey, his best moment in MMA history. An American versus Japanese. Bag. Oh! You ready for this one? Look at their faces, dude. Troy. Don won, man. Like, classic Don way back in the day. Classic. I mean, just ridiculous. Yeah, yeah. If you're going to wear American colors, you have to go to the max. Okay. Boys. Give me 1 second. 1 second. I'll be right back. I have to pee real quick. I'll be right back. Okay. Okay. Oh, Trek, you're back. Good, buddy. Okay. So, this is where we're going to talk about Sonny Liston. Little documentary about Sonny Liston. I think it's crazy interesting. Now, look, if you guys find it really boring, let me know. I personally love this stuff. I love, like, oh, Sonny Liston, man. Sonny Liston's one of the baddest heavyweights of all time, Minnie. So let me know what you guys think of this. If you guys, like I said, if you find it boring, we don't have to watch it. But I wanted to expose you guys to it because it's like a crazy story when it comes to boxing. Like bad, or like Deontay Wilder bad. Like it's a man that was so unloved as a heavyweight because of his past. Like this is like a totally different period in American history. Like, we'll just watch it. It's, to me, it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing what he did. He went from being a like absolute criminal and to like unbelievable person. Just, you ready? It's so amazing. It's incredible to me.
In a time where boxing was rife with corruption and was ruled by organized crime, no fighter more perfectly represented the sweet science's dark age better than the fearsome Sonny Liston. His soulless glare that lacked emotion and his scowl that could crush a man's will to win. The one they called the Night Train brought an air of menace everywhere he went.
Dude, he was so
and although
crazy.
His name is synonymous with fear, no fighter was more misunderstood and mistreated.
Mike Tyson talked about how he learned about intimidation from Sonny Liston. Let's put it that way.
Rainy Day Boxing brings you Sonny Liston, a boxing legend.
That's not Barbie.
Sonny Liston, I think, was possibly the greatest intimidator of all time. I've seen him stare guys down where they were so scared climbing up the ring steps they could barely get in the ring.
Looking at people as though he hated everyone. Looking at writers as though he hated all writers.
Sonny Liston, I watched him here in the gym a few months ago, and he can hit a guy in the elbows and just about break his arm.
Yeah.
Liston would serve time for armed robbery and later for beating up a cop. He'd been arrested more than 100 times. His manager was tied to organized crime.
He'd been arrested over 100 times. And he grew up on a plantation,
Born Charles
boys.
L. Liston in Arkansas, USA,
on
an unknown date.
When Sonny Liston's family's mule died, he became the mule.
Beginnings were as humble as can be. He was the 24th of 25 children. Growing up on a cotton plantation, his father used him as a substitute.
When he's number 24 of 28 kids. Wait, I gotta hear that again. He's one of almost 30 kids.
Born
24th
Charles
out
L.
of
Liston
25.
in Arkansas, USA, on an unknown date. Sonny's beginnings were as humble as can be. He
Dude,
was
this
the 24th
is
of 25
so
children.
look, guys, on this channel, I want to talk about boxing history. This is the kind of stuff I want to bring you, like the most incredible, raw, unreal kind of guys that you're just like, I maybe don't know them or I've heard about them a little bit. This is kind of the next level stuff where you're just like, this is insane.
Growing up on a cotton plantation, his father used him as a substitute for a mule. And when he wasn't being worked by his father, he was being whipped by his father, and he had the scars to prove it.
Sonny came up under probably the poorest kind of financial conditions that you could imagine. Developed his tremendous physique working in the cotton fields as barely a teenager.
Liston said, "We grew up with few clothes, no shoes,
Imagine
little
your
to
job
eat.
as a mule.
My father worked me hard and whooped me hard."
I realized what this guy's life was like, beaten every day by his father and had welts on his back the rest of his life.
And the mule dies. And the father, who used to beat the crap out of him anyway, constantly, says, "You're the mule." And he's the mule trotting the furrows in the field. You know, he said, "Dad, I'm not taking this crap anymore."
At the young age of 13, Sonny mustered up the courage to leave his abusive father. All alone, he hitchhiked to St. Louis to reunite with his mother.
Oh, man. Dude, can we get an effing chat for Wes's H's mom? Oh, man. Yeah, that many siblings?
But
That's
Sonny, not
crazy.
having the ability to read or write, had almost nothing going for him at his new schools.
Wes doesn't have
so
that
he
many
took to the mean
siblings. I know
streets
that
of
for a
St.
fact.
Louis, where his tremendously stocky physique and appearance of a man gained him fear and respect, and eventually led him to a life of crime.
He said he was in school. They were smaller kids, and they would make fun of him because he was so big.
He eventually started playing hooky and dropping out and not going to class, and his formal education didn't get very far.
He was at the dark side of St. Louis at the time, the real poor section, and he saw how the poor people got money.
He winds up getting into trouble. He's a big guy, and his size is intimidating. And I think what he discovers when he's a teenager is that his size can be intimidating, and he can maybe use that to his advantage.
As a teenager, Liston had racked up charges of larceny and armed robbery and was known to the police as a Nixie fighter, a man not afraid
Dude.
to fight the cops.
Yeah, he would
Eventually,
fight cops.
every police car in St. Louis had a picture of Liston taped to their sun visors. The man had a target on his back.
A serious prison record, armed robbery, assaults on police officers.
Sonny Liston was the most threatening guy around.
In 1956, in a brawl with a police officer, the cop wound up with a broken knee, and Sonny managed to run off with the cop's gun and a cap. Then, after his release, he wound up in another fight with a policeman, wound up putting him upside down in a trash barrel.
After he busted the cop's leg in St. Louis, he was a branded man.
The word had gone out, harass this guy, put the screws to him wherever you get the chance.
Sonny Liston, after some minor infractions, went to the big time. He went to rob a gas station, he went to rob a restaurant.
After Sonny was tried, he got 5 years in jail. That was the sentence for armed robbery at the time. And he went to the penitentiary in Jefferson, which was a really tough place.
Time magazine called it the bloodiest 47 acres in America. Gangs ruled it. There were fights all the time. Guards were afraid to patrol some of the D blocks.
But his sentence soon turned into a blessing in disguise, as he was able to thrive at the prison boxing program. Even in the United States' most infamous prison at the time, Liston was the most feared man on the block.
He literally beat up everyone.
Fight him by himself. They had to put 2 or 3 in the ring with him to get him any kind of exercise. So
Come on,
I knew
man.
He had to be a very strong, powerful man.
2 to 3 fighters versus him.
And in prison, he was a headbreaker. He was feared.
After defeating every man who dared to challenge him, his reputation found its way to some of the mafia's head honchos, who served as the underworld commissioners of boxing. His potential in the boxing world and mob connections helped get him an early parole, and also on the outside, landed Sonny a job as a mafia leg breaker. Frankie Carbo, a former professional killer for Murder Incorporated, now ruled the boxing game from the shadows. It
The
was now
mafia, the
undercover
killer
manager
of boxing.
Sonny
I mean,
Liston.
Absolutely. As of December 1960, Sonny Liston was controlled by powerful racketeer groups. Under the leadership of Frank Carbo,
I mean,
Mr.
Carbone
Gray,
was just
the superintendent, one of the most
legendary
feared gunmen
mafia.
of the Prohibition era, and the undisputed czar of the professional sport.
Have you ever threatened any manager or boxer or promoter for not carrying out any wishes? I respectfully decline to answer the question on the ground that I cannot be compelled to be a witness against myself.
When he wasn't boxing, Liston's new boss made sure he was available for other work.
Laborers got out of line. Sonny was the guy that roughed them up. He would collect money for loan sharks and numbers writers.
And they involved him to enforce their strikes, their collection of debts, and any other little job that needed to be done.
And they knew this guy could knock out anybody if he hit them, and it was just a question of finding the right front managers. The richest prize in sports is the heavyweight championship, and the mob wanted to get back control of the heavyweight title.
So what do you guys think of Sonny Liston so far, huh? I mean, tell me this isn't like crazy. Like, this should be a movie. This should be a TV show or something, right? Like, this should be some kind of Hollywood show or right? Like, in awe, yeah, dude. Like, this is why, this is the kind of stuff. So Shrek, this is the kind of stuff I want to bring to you guys, where it's like legendary stuff that not everyone knows about, man. That dude can single-handedly shit me to death, dude.
Liston was matched up against the most avoided, promising heavyweight prospects and obliterated each one of them. Feared Cleveland Williams held the title as the hardest puncher in the division until Liston battered him on 2 separate occasions. It took Sonny only 69 seconds to finish veteran Wayne Bethea and knock out 7 of his teeth.
I mean, come on, man.
Liston brought in the beginning of the big heavyweights. Previously, the heavyweight crown
Rocky
was held by men who
Marciano's
fought
on
under
the
200
list.
pounds.
Absolutely.
At 215, Liston was a behemoth compared to his 190-pound counterparts. He had an 84-inch reach and required custom-made gloves to fit his 15-inch.
84-inch reach. Look at the hand size, boys. Look at the hand size. I mean, this boy is made for boxing. 84 inches is crazy. I want to give you guys a good idea about 84 inches. You ready? I mean, 84 inches is a massive reach. Massive reach. 84 inches. Okay, you ready? Tyson Fury, who's 6'9", has a 65-inch reach. That's the level, man. That's the level. Sonny Liston had close to a 6'9" reach of Tyson Fury. And Sonny Liston was not even close to that height. Sonny Liston was 6'1". Tyson Fury 6'9" with 65 inches. And I'm sorry, Tyson Fury's 6'9" with 65 inches. Sonny Liston is 6'1" with 64-inch reach. Oh yeah, Jay, heard about that. Yeah, we're drowning our sorrows by watching some classic Sonny Liston, dude. Tyson Fury got a 65-inch. What are you talking about? No. Tyson Fury has 65 inches. Sonny Liston had 64. 169, one is 6'1". So, look at the hand difference. That's what we're at, man.
Sized hands. Thought to have the hardest jab in boxing history, Sonny fought with an innate aggression and lack of pity towards his opponents. The Mafia, known to rig a contest results to their liking, needed not worry with any of Liston's fights. They now controlled the most destructive heavyweight since Jack Dempsey, and the top contenders felt the sting of his punches.
Harris gets hit with a left hook and goes down.
I mean,
a prize fight is like a cowboy movie, Liston once gloated. There has to be a good guy and a bad guy. People pay their money to see
No. Dude, Sky. No, I literally said that. I'm literally looking at it now. Tyson Fury has 65 inches. I agree with you. Sonny Liston has 64 inches. Tyson Fury 6'9". Sonny Liston is 6'1". That's what I'm pointing out. The difference between the two in terms of height, and that, you know, Tyson Fury's a unreal huge size human, and that Sonny Liston at 6'1" had a massive reach. That's all. That's all.
Only in my cowboy movie, the bad guy always wins.
Westfall has never been knocked off his feet until now.
Sonny was one of these classic punchers with either hand like Lewis, or later like Tyson. He had enormous punching power, and he knocked almost everybody out quickly.
Liston switches his attack from the body to the head in a smashing left hook, puts Williams down.
Tremendous left jab and a great hook. Sonny really became a force in boxing.
And this guy could really hit. He knocked the stuffing out of the headgear. When he hit you, it came apart.
Johnson catapults to the canvas.
Nobody ever hit me like that guy. Every time he hit you, he broke something. He broke my nose, my left cheekbone, and gave me 72 stitches.
A dynamite combination of punches by Sonny Liston. And McMurray goes down.
Sonny Liston belongs among the
85 equals 216 centimeters. It's not 65. We're talking inches. I'm sorry. Like, we're talking 84 inches for the reach of Sonny Liston, which is 213 centimeters. Tyson Fury, who's a much bigger dude, like much bigger dude, is 216 centimeters. So he's 65 inches compared to 64 inches. I'm not sure what you're trying to like point out, Sky. I'm just pointing out like Sonny Liston had a freakish kind of reach. He's not saying that like he's saying the difference between Tyson Fury and Sonny Liston in height. Yeah. The height difference was just crazy difference. Tyson Fury's like a massive dude. Like, I understand he's 6'9", and the reach difference compared to a 6'1" person is a very big difference compared to the reach difference of 65 inches or 216. That's all. You're reaching at 85 inches, not 65 inches. Sonny Liston got 84 inches, only 200. Oh, okay. No, I'm not saying that Tyson Fury has a shorter reach than Sonny Liston. I'm literally saying a guy that is 6'9" and has an 85-inch reach. I don't understand what's so hard to understand about this compared to a guy who's 6'1" and has an 84-inch reach. Do you see what I'm saying? Is like a dude that's 6'9" has more reach than the guy that's 6'1", but the reach difference isn't that drastic, especially comparing to the time that Sonny Liston is fighting way back then. That's what I'm pointing out. That's all. I'm sorry if I said 65. That's my bad. That's my bad. I did not mean 65.
He had a left jab in front of him, which was probably the best in all heavyweight history. Had the kind of a jab that went through you.
And a fast right to the head puts Harris down. Sonny lands a strong overhand right.
He had a reputation as a fearsome puncher, a potential rival for heavyweight champion Floyd Patterson.
Oh, Floyd Patterson, man.
In your next engagement, the man got the title. Mr. Floyd Patterson, currently the heavyweight champion.
Despite his underworld allies, Sonny earned a title shot the hard and honest way. He cleared the division in such a violent manner.
Look, Sky, I appreciate you like keeping me on my toes, by the way. Like keeping it where it needs to be in terms of like stats and everything. I totally get that. Dude, yeah, no, he did knock the stuffing out of Headgear. I see what Sky was saying. That's my bad if I said 65. That's my bad. That's totally my bad.
Manner that it was obvious to everyone that Liston was the best in the weight class, and heavyweight champion Floyd Patterson knew it too. Patterson was the darling of wholesome America. Civil rights organizations desired black athletes to be model citizens, to positively represent African Americans. Floyd Patterson was the perfect representation for this cause. Charles Sonny Liston was not.
There was an awful lot of controversy at the time whether this morally reckless person, quote unquote, actually was worthy of fighting for the heavyweight championship of the world.
We don't really associate Sonny Liston with the civil rights movement because the civil rights movement didn't associate itself with Sonny Liston.
There was a lot of concern about Liston fighting for the title to represent us. He's not the kind of image that we want. You know, this guy's been in prison, he's illiterate, he's got all these connection with these white gangsters, and we don't want that.
Everybody knows that the best heavyweight in the world at this time was Charles
Sonny Liston. Was crazy scary.
Everybody
fighter. And have you seen the video where he fakes shoots? Oh, no. Oh, Jay, you wrecked it. We're going to get there. We're going to get there.
Be permitted to fight for the title.
It's in this video.
About all the top contenders
By the way, if you guys enjoy this video, this is done by Rainy Day. You can see Rainy Day Boxing here in the corner. Go check him out on YouTube,
Floyd
man.
Patterson was a popular figure.
I mean,
His
Floyd
manager
Patterson
refused to
was
let him fight Liston
incredible
because of his
fighter at the
connections
time.
to the mob.
Floyd Patterson was sold as kind of the meek, safe, polite Negro. In contrast to Sonny Liston as a menace to civilization, a threat to the cleanliness of sport.
We'll get there, Jay.
Floyd
I
Patterson
like that
was
you
invited
brought
to the White
Jay
House
bringing
by
in
Jack
some
Kennedy.
serious knowledge.
Jack Kennedy urged Patterson to fight Liston and to beat him.
Then, in 1962, over the strong
Oh, me
objections
too,
of his
Shrek.
mentor, Cus D'Amato,
Look at this.
Patterson signed to defend his title against Charles and Sonny Liston.
Sonny Liston.
About a month from now, Sonny Liston is going to be trying to get the championship from Floyd Patterson. How do you see this fight?
Trying to get Sonny Liston will get it.
You hear that?
When Liston
Ali
goes
knew,
into
man.
the ring, he's booed.
Sonny Liston.
And Floyd Patterson came into the ring, obviously terrified. And you knew, looking at Floyd Patterson, that it wasn't going to last very long.
Some boxing history, boys.
Liston moves out to face the big chance of his 28 years of a turbulent life.
Look how big Sonny Liston looks, man. He looks huge.
The Liston hook to the head is the first
Physically, he looks like a monster.
Liston gets to him against the ropes with lefts and rights. Ties him up. Won't let him get away. Liston with a left. Short right to the body. A left hook. And Patterson is
First
down.
round.
Sonny Liston destroyed Floyd Patterson at 2 minutes and 6 seconds of the first round.
First round.
It was a
Done.
slaughter. And Sonny Liston wins the heavyweight championship of the world. The stadium was eerily quiet, almost funereal.
In the oversimplified world of boxing, evil has just defeated good.
The public would let bygones be bygones, that I would be a good champ, maybe a better champ than he was, either just as good a champ as he was.
Against all odds, Sonny achieved what he set out to do, and all he wanted now was a second chance, to live a respectable life and not be seen as a criminal. But nothing changed.
Can't say
The
bad
morning after
guys
the
aren't
fight,
entertaining.
Sonny flies back to
Sometimes
Philadelphia.
boxing
He
needs
believes
bad
he
guys.
is right to
Absolutely,
slate
Jay.
clean, preparing a speech.
This
where
is so.
he's
Wait.
promising to be a good
This part
champion.
here is so sad. This makes you absolutely sheesh. This makes you absolutely sympathize with Sonny Liston. You ready? Just watch this and tell me this would not make you so upset.
He believes he has wiped the slate clean, preparing a speech where he's promising to be a good champion, and he just assumes that the mayor is going to be there and there's going to be a big parade.
He at least thought he would come home to a hero's welcome. And the plane landed in Philadelphia, and he was hoping to see hundreds or maybe even thousands of people on the tarmac. You know, welcome home, champ. The usual thing that you see happening with championship fighters coming home. And there was nobody. You know, this guy who was waiting for his great moment in life saw that nothing had happened. No one had come to greet him, and his shoulders just slumped. The feeling of hope, of acceptance into the greater world, vanished in an instant.
A lot of people feel that really crushed him emotionally, and that he never really recovered from that
I
disappointment.
hear you, Shrek.
Or really the realization that it didn't make any difference what Sonny Liston did, the rest of his life, he was always going to be branded as a bad guy.
Dude.
Sonny's desires to be a good person was crushed along with his dream to be accepted by the public. To the world, he was just an uneducated Southern Negro, and that intimidated them. The press labeled him as a jungle beast, a latter-day caveman. It was then that Liston embraced the role of a villain.
So sad.
Sonny was uncomfortable dealing with the press, so he'd usually answer a question with one word or an angry stare. The Sonny Liston stare became known as.
Who asked the question? You over there?
If he didn't like a question, he would just sit there and look at you, or he would tell you it's a stupid question and not answer it. He was also very intimidating.
He was suspicious of everyone. He didn't like reporters.
Who do you expect your next real fight to be with?
Haven't I been having real ones?
After watching you spar today, it seems that you plan a vastly increased use of your right hand. Is this true?
I'm planning on using both of them.
Both of them?
Right.
Come on, man. Tell me that wasn't like a little bit of a quick wit right there from Sonny. Like, this man gets no respect. No respect. And look, this sets a precedent. Like, this sets a level of people that learn that the bad guy can sell tickets. Like, Sonny Liston, sadly, is a sad story. He's a really sad story, but he shows a path for some fighters in terms of, like, the bad guy's not always bad. He's someone that sells tickets.
Newspapers painted him as a bad fella, but for people that are around him and people he knew and liked, he was a good fella. He'd do anything for you.
The problem was his name began to appear on the front pages of the newspaper more than in the sports sections of the newspaper.
The Denver police harassed Sonny Liston, and I thought treated him very bad. If he would step 1 foot onto the golf course where he ran, I was with him. They were there to give him a ticket on it.
Went to one of these drive-through hamburger joints and came out the entrance instead of the exit. Suddenly there's 2 police cars there.
Even after he became champion, the police, they went right on harassing him. Petty things, picking him up for standing on a street corner talking to someone. For Sonny, the last straw is when they picked him up in the park for driving too slowly.
Liston, who was now the champion, if anything, was more disliked now. And I think Patterson, who was deeply beloved, if anything, was now held as a last beacon of hope.
A year after winning the title,
Amazing, right?
Patterson mistakenly asked Liston for a rematch. Sonny obliged him. Liston was at the height of his powers,
yeah.
and his aura of invincibility
Sonny
was
Liston, wait, this is a good take. Sonny Liston got a physical over advantage with others, not really skillful. Sky, that's a really, really, really good point. And actually, I think that that's such a good point because we see later in this why that's true. I think that's the best point, is that Sonny Liston, although an interesting character you can talk about outside the ring, the genetics, everything like that, he lacks something that is fundamental in boxing, which is the skill of boxing, being skillful, not just like a brute. And Sky's bringing this up, and I think this is a good point. And we know why this is such a big deal later on. I'm not going to wreck it.
Ozzy the Never.
I think that's a great point, though, Sky.
Is he going to be your next opponent? And if he is, what are you going to do to him? He'll be my next opponent. What I'm going to do to him in the next fight, what happened in the first one?
Getting through underneath, and he's got him going again. Less than a minute gone, and there's the first count. Those heavy lefts going through, and the right following up, and this is what's doing the damage.
I mean,
he's trying to fight back Patterson, but the other
when you fight someone unskillfully and you just try to play into their game plan, or you're scared of them. We saw what's happened time and time again in boxing. Here's a good case.
The fight lasted 2 minutes and 10 seconds, reconfirming Liston as the heavyweight champion of the world. Despite the win, Liston was again denied the public acceptance he so badly wanted.
The public is
sad.
not with me now, but they have to swing along until somebody else come along to beat me.
We know who that was.
But there to interrupt the celebrations was the future of boxing. The loud and promising
Right on time,
youngster,
Sky.
Cassius Clay,
Exactly what you
stormed
said.
into the ring and proclaimed that he was the man to beat Liston. And over the coming months, Clay would take pestering to an entirely new level.
The bomb is too big, he's too flat-footed, and he's too slow.
He had gone to his home and banged on his door in the middle of the night in order to aggravate him.
He thought of all these high school stunts that he pulled on him, Sonny, which were demeaning, insulting.
Also, I think, like Tyson, his opponents were done before they even entered the ring. Absolutely. The fear was crazy.
And he starts screaming, "Chump, chump, I'm going to get you." And he's screaming for everybody to hear. Liston finally looks up in that baleful stare of his, pulls out a gun, and bang, 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 bang. And Clay runs out as fast as he ever could. It was blanks, and Liston roared for an hour.
Don't you have any respect for him at all as a fighter?
Jay, there you go.
I think he should be locked up for impersonating a fighter.
Liston said, "Why not?" He said, "I'm going to kill him. It's going to take me a round and a half."
Sonny Liston took the fight because he thought he could destroy Cassius Clay.
Well, do you think it'll end in 2? Well, you can bet your life it ain't going 4.
From the outset, it's obvious that Liston is underestimated Clay's ability.
Fly like a butterfly. Yeah. Sting like a bee.
Then he started to take Sonny apart. Pop, 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 pop.
Here was a
Guy, here's that skill, man, you're talking about.
Magnificent young athlete in front of him. Sonny suddenly realized, wow, this is something.
And like, look, this is a good lesson for just boxing in general. I a lot of times will pick guys that are more skillful over like punchers, because this is like the classic case. You know, like I love that we have people in chat talking about like skill over like, you know, power, or, you know, talking about all these elements, because I think it's really important to kind of like point this out, and we see it in history in boxing over and over again.
It's in the ring.
Sonny flat-footed stands most of the time. Easy target. Easy.
Beautiful. Look at this. Look at this skill, man. Just to be this 22-year-old.
When Liston dropped his butt down on the stool at the end,
you've learned a lot, Shrek. Good. Hopefully, brother. Look at the Ollie shuffle. Oh man, look at this. 6 rounds.
Sonny, a man who took great pride in being the baddest man in the world, no longer was. And there, at his lowest moment, was the press, as merciless as ever, descended upon Liston while he was down.
Reporters came
So
at him
bad.
hard like a group of vultures. The press was saying Sonny was a dog, Sonny was a quitter.
It only added to his bad reputation, not as an individual, but as a fighter.
Just quit at the end of the 6th
Yeah,
round,
it never gets a
claiming
break,
shoulder
man.
injury, which nobody believed.
When I went back to my corner, the whole glove felt like it was full of water.
And he was deeply ashamed. This was the thing that gave Sonny his identity. He was the toughest guy in the world. And suddenly he woke up one morning and he wasn't the toughest guy in the world. So he decided to do something about it.
Heartbreaking.
The night of the infamous Phantom Punch, and perhaps the most controversial moment in boxing history.
Have you guys heard about this? The Phantom Punch? I really enjoy slow-mo because of this. This guy is cool. Yeah, dude, Sonny Liston's very cool.
Liston was floored by what seemed to be a harmless punch.
We all know now that that's a huge pull counter right there.
Throughout his career, Sonny had been able to walk through some of the hardest punchers' best shots, but now had been sent to the canvas from a shot where the connection could only be seen in slow motion. From his obvious unwillingness to rise to his feet and his mob connections, rumors of a fix or a dive spread like wildfire. This would be Liston's last fight with a championship on the line.
Any chance that Sonny had it for another shot of the title was lost
People
in
just said he was a
1969
bum.
after he was knocked out by a former sparring partner, Leotis Martin.
It's sad, man.
He is knocked out. This fight will be over. And with it, Charles Sonny Liston's career.
The cold fact is it will be harder than ever, Sonny, to go all the way up the trail after this defeat.
Yes, it would. But I have to tank it over here.
Sonny had one last bout against Chuck Wepner, where he made only $13,000, $10,000 to repay a loan, and the remaining amount paid to his cornermen.
That's
By
brutal.
this time, Sonny had relocated to Vegas, a mob-run town that wouldn't look down upon him. Almost none of his career earnings left. Liston found his way back to his old life as
Well,
mafia debt
Jaden,
collector.
yeah.
He
we
was
hear
also
about
seen
it.
associating with more and more criminal figures, who Sonny would eventually fall out of favor with.
There were all kinds of allegations as to what Sonny was doing. There were those that say he was pushing heroin, doing the same kind of things, associating with the same kind of people.
So sad.
For a lot of people didn't want to have anything to do with Sonny at that point. It was scared about how far off the edge he was going.
Friends of his were told Sonny's hanging out with the wrong folks. There's a drug deal going down and Sonny's involved in it. He was an accident waiting to happen.
Sonny Liston was found dead today in his home in Las Vegas, Nevada.
On January 5th, 1971, after leaving her husband alone in the house over the Christmas holidays, Geraldine Liston returned to find Sonny slumped over, heavily bloated, and in an advanced state of decomposition. With heroin in his system, it was ruled that Sonny died of natural causes. But Liston's fear of needles questioned that ruling and left theories of foul play.
Yeah.
So many people wanted Sonny dead. The only question is who got to him first.
He had gotten involved, muscling in on somebody's loan sharking business, and that he was murdered over this dispute.
Most people in Las Vegas think he was given what they call a hot shot by some element of the mob.
But was it self-inflicted,
My God,
or
dude.
was it administered by someone else?
Some people saying that he was getting too big for his britches. He was trying to muscle in on some of the underground characters he was working for, and they decided that this was the way to dispose of Sonny.
As forceful a presence as Liston was inside the ring, he remained a mystery outside of it, even in death.
The exact date of his birth is unknown, and
How
fittingly, we're unsure
sad.
the day he died. The mysteries and conspiracies that surround his death will never be solved now, but a natural death just seems an unlikely ending to the Liston story.
Yeah.
He was a tragic figure who lived a tragic life, but his story wasn't without triumph. His beginnings were as low and muddy as can be, yet
How is this
he rose
not
to
a
the
movie?
peak of society and soared like a shooting star. All he desired to do was live a normal, peaceful life, but he was unfortunately never able to do so. Sadly, being misunderstood by the world is what pushed Liston into a life he didn't want to live. For such a powerful man, he had very little power over his own
Dude,
life.
how is this not a
Throughout
movie?
his career, he was given identities that he desperately tried to shake off. He was an illiterate, an ex-con, a leg breaker, and without a doubt, the most intimidating heavyweight champion of all time.
I don't think the general public ever knew the real Sonny Liston. They knew the persona, the thug-like guy. He wasn't really that. That was a front. That was like what he needed to protect himself.
Deep inside, he was misunderstood and sensitive and wounded, and that rejection, that denial of a second chance to prove himself, hurt him the rest of his life.
Sonny was one of the most charming people I've ever known in sports, but he didn't share it with people because he had been burnt so often.
He was very cuddly and affectionate. I never saw that side of Sonny that's been described as so menacing. He just wasn't like that. He was a fun-loving person.
Sonny was spectacular with little children and old people because they were non-threatening.
Go on, Betty, get him out of here.
Look at this. Come on, man.
He was like a father figure to me. Little things he wanted to impart with me about behaving. For me, he really wanted to make certain I stayed out of trouble.
He's a good man and he's a kind man and worthy of a chance to contribute to society.
Now, if you should win the championship, do you have any plans on what you're going to do after that?
I would like to work with the kids in the youth center and everything.
They need help.
Youth center.
Yes, they do.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to...
So, Rainy Day Boxing did this. I think it's an excellent breakdown, man. Excellent, excellent breakdown. Now, look, if you guys are having fun with this stuff, I have some more boxing history stuff we can, like, watch. Maybe something a little bit shorter, a little more lighthearted. But, like, this is the kind of stuff I want to interject here and there in Friday Fight Night. Is this kind of like, we should learn about boxing history, or I want to learn more about boxing history, and hopefully you guys enjoy this kind of stuff. Like, I think this is super, super fun. Like, I don't understand how this is not a movie. I don't understand how Hollywood has not made this a movie. The other thing that, to me, that should be a movie, and I just don't understand it. I just don't understand how this isn't a movie yet. Is Joe Louis. You know, Butterbean, I mean, come on. We all love Butterbean. We all love Butterbean. Joe Louis, if you don't, how many people don't know Joe Louis' like history? Okay. I'm seeing some stuff here that's like 42 minutes long, an hour and 14 minutes long. That might be a bit long. So let's do something a little bit more lighthearted, a little bit more fun. Are you guys having fun, by the way? Oh, dude, that's Jay, that's an excellent, excellent recommendation. What'd you guys think of that? I'm having a lot of fun. Good, good. Hollywood would probably milk and produce the racism out of it when media themselves ruined. Oh, man. His life. Oh, man. Sky coming in with some huge bombs. Dude, that's an awesome take. I'm nervous for tomorrow. Did you watch Lomachenko come back fight? Oh, Jaden. I have a video about that on my YouTube. Yes, I absolutely did. Sky, that's a freaking awesome point, man. Awesome point. I hope you guys are having fun. Like, look, I want to produce interesting stuff for you guys. This kind of stuff is the stuff that gets me excited, though. I love learning about boxing history and all these kind of things because I feel like by looking at the past, we can learn about today's fighters a lot and learn about where this stuff comes from, right? These streams are the only way to, discuss boxing. Dude, I'm glad that you're enjoying that. So, no, would not want the Hollywood to make the movie at all. It's just oh, dude, I see. You're gonna blame the wrong people. That's a good point. I think modern Hollywood would probably do it wrong. I agree with you on that one, man. I agree with you on that one. All right, so do we want to do like old school? Do we want to do something a little bit more new school? Do we want to do like a little bit more documentary stuff? Do we want to do a little bit more like lighthearted stuff? What are you guys in the mood for? What's gonna like tickle your fancy right now? Because I have a few ideas. Man, oh, I got one. That's, I think short. Let me see how short this is. It's 22 minutes long. Okay. Tickle my fancy is the weirdest thing. Tickle your fancy. How about we do this? I can't do it. It's JRE. It's freaking JRE's gonna fucking punish me. I already know it. I can't do that. Damn it. Let me think of some interesting boxing for you guys. I know, Joe Rogan, dude, I have a great clip of Teddy Atlas talking about Joe Louis and all this other stuff. It's one of my favorite clips of all time. It's him talking about like the importance of Joe Louis. And in my opinion, Joe Louis should be a iconic figure in American history that we teach in every single history class along with Jackie Robinson. I think he's that important. I think that Joe Louis is someone that not only was important in American history, boxing history, sports history, but he's such an important figure in so many ways. It's such a shame that people don't know who he is and his whole legacy and what he did. Have you ever seen the video of the worst fights and fighters? It's kind of hilarious. We've watched a little bit of that on this channel. Let me find something really funny. How about that? You guys want funny? Do we want some uplifting after that? Maybe a little bit. Sorry about that. I know we were watching Sonny Liston. Sonny Liston was such a good heavy one, man, though. I mean, his stuff is so good. And Rainy Day Boxing, man. Let me give him a quick shout out. Make sure that we give him a little bit of credit here. Rainy Day, he hasn't produced much in a long time. He does some wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff here. And I don't want to just mooch off someone, so let's watch something to take us from the darkness. We want everything. Okay, yeah, now I'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do something that like lifts you guys up a little bit, right? Something to lift you guys up. I can do that. I want to give you guys something a little bit more joyful. Here we go. I know exactly what I want. I know exactly what I want. Okay. Let me just say. Okay. Okay, you guys ready? This is going to make you want to do 1,000 push-ups. 1,000 push-ups. You ready? I love this video. Hey, maybe you already mentioned this. How do you think Fury is being truthful about the report? So, Jay, I did talk about it briefly, but good point. So, for people that are on the channel, I want to do two things. Number one, tell my quick story real quick, and then talk about Fury. Number one, I was at work. We were talking about like the fight with Conor McGregor and everything else. And I was like, man, this fight's so big, it's kind of like Rumble in the Jungle. And my coworker, who's 26 years old, goes, what's Rumble in the Jungle? What is that? I go, like George Foreman versus Muhammad Ali. And he goes, George Foreman? You mean like the grill guy? And my heart died a little bit because he didn't realize he was and I go, George Foreman, like the boxer. He goes, oh, George Foreman is the boxer? You mean like George Foreman is a boxer and the grill guy? And it just like made me die inside a little bit. Like just die inside a little bit. And I had to show him like the classic, like George Foreman lifting a cow over his shoulder kind of thing. And like talk to him about like what he did. And it was just like, oh God, it hurt me a little bit. I think Fury in this COVID situation is like, look, if you're going to be 2 weeks out from a fight, whether you're, got the poke or not, or insulated, or you got the medicine or not, regardless, you got to be careful. Like your camp, you don't know, like you got to know who's in your camp, what they're doing, all that stuff. It's important because you're going into a massive fight with a massive amount of money. And it's not just you responsible for that money. There's a huge portion there that's responsible, and it's a huge thing. So it's really important to me that Fury, or the people, Fury as well as the manager of that camp, be held responsible, because now we're waiting until October. Freddie Roach said that Freddie Roach said that Teddy Atlas insulted firemen. Oh man, Teddy just said cheerleader. There is a bit of truth to that. Like, look, Sky, that's a great point. Let's talk about this really, really quick. You look at Freddie Roach compared to Teddy Atlas. They are very different in terms of cornermen. They treat things very differently, and I'm not saying that, like, one is better than the other. I'm just saying that, like, depending on the fighter, there's different styles there. I personally, for cornermen, I like them to be short, to the point, and give their instructions in a clear, concise way with, hey, this round I need you to do just this. Like, or just kind of minor changes, because I don't want them to overload their fighter. Now, I am not an elite level fighter or cornerman, so I can't talk as Teddy Atlas or Freddie Roach. So who am I? I'm a schmuck. But that's my general take. I like that a little bit more in a fight, where it's like simple instructions, simple changes, simple things to go into the next round. That's what I like, personally. But let's see what you guys are saying. I'm excited for Pac-Man versus Spence. I'm absolutely excited for that. That's a you always have to wonder fight. That's a great fight. I would be such a cool thing if Manny pulls that upset off. Absolutely. Freddie Roach is like the Bob Ross of boxing. I love Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach has a special place in my heart. Gabe Rosado, when he won this last fight, man, had Freddie Roach in his corner, and Freddie Roach was helping him out. And just seeing a guy that's getting bullied at that current age, and then have someone like Freddie Roach to go back to the corner to, is it just shows, man. Freddie Roach is such a special person in boxing. Such a special person. Fury and Lopez canceled their fight because of, the hype wasn't there and wasn't having enough sales. Sky, you're not alone on that idea, man. I don't, how can I put this? I don't like to say that when ticket sales aren't there, things instantly pop up to make things go longer. But, if it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck. Sky, it might be a duck. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, if it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck. It might be a duck. So, I don't think you're too far off there. Freddie Roach was never my friend. I mean, he seems like such an interesting guy, man. Fury versus Wilder was looking to bomb, though. I agree, man. So you still going to the Wilder versus Fury. So I was going to go to that fight. Jaden, great question. I was going to pay money and go to the Wilder versus Fury fight. Like, I was talking my wife into it. I'm like, hey, I'm going to go to this. And she's like, I don't know. And then Lomachenko versus Nakatani happened. And I went, you know what? If I'm going to spend $1,000, I think I want to see Teofimo Lopez versus Loma in New York. So I pulled out of that, and thankfully I did, because now the whole thing's moved to October. Yeah. That's I can't promise anything, boys. That's, if my life all works out, that's what I'm hoping for. I want to go to these big fights and do some big live streams for you boys during them and everything, but that's the ideal. Like, that would be amazing. So, okay, let's get a little Teddy Atlas, juice right now.
We're firemen. We are fire. Are you ready for the fire? No, we're firemen. We are firemen. The heat doesn't bother us. We live in the heat. We train in the heat. Yeah, let's go. It tells us that we're ready. We're at home. We're where we're supposed to be. Flames don't intimidate us. What do? We control the flames.
Let's go.
We control them. We move the flames where we want to. And then we extinguish them.
Coach, we gotta go.
Control the outside.
When I was in the inside with Rios, I didn't panic. I was calm. I knew exactly where I needed to be, and I was comfortable doing it.
Good shot by Tim.
What a body shot.
Yep.
Bradley not only picked him apart, but then out-bullied him and beat him to the body. Just broke him down.
And if you know Teddy, Teddy always talks about going to the body because you're putting water in the basement. You think you're going to the fight. Jaden, I hope I'm going to the fight. I can't predict anything because boxing's so unpredictable right now. We have Teofimo Lopez versus Kambosos. We have to see how that goes. I'm assuming it's all good, but I would predict Lopez to win that fight. I don't know where I'm going to be in my life at that point. Not to give too much personal stuff away, but we'll see how it's all going. Teddy Atlas is on steroids. He's too god of a trainer. I mean, he's too good of a trainer. Yeah, dude. This right here, magic. Magic is one of my favorite points.
You believe in magic? Magic. Sometimes we can bring people that left us back. We can bring your father back to.
So at this point, if you don't know, Povetkin's father had just died. He had just died. And Teddy Atlas is talking about bringing Povetkin's father back with magic to motivate him to win this title fight as a heavyweight champion.
You know why? Because they're going to talk about his son, the new world champion. And when they talk about him, they're going to be thinking about his father.
Если ты за 5 раундов нанес 2-3 удара точно, но выиграть очень сложно. И у того и друг, чей мощный торс примерит на себя
Classic Povetkin
пояс
too, man.
Всемирной боксерской ассоциации. Сразиться с победителем, он уже представляет,
Classic
какую выгоду
Povetkin.
сулил бы этот бой. Но, на мой взгляд, поединок с Эвандером Холлифилдом стал бы шагом назад. Единственное, что
You
если
think
бы
he's
удалось
afraid
договориться
to
на бой в
rematch
этом году,
Lomachenko?
то
I think everyone
можно
would be
встретиться с
afraid to
Холлифилдом
rematch
в качестве разогрева.
Lomachenko after
Холлифилд
that
все
last
еще.
fight. That was scary,
Так
Lomachenko.
что вполне возможно промежуточный поединок провести. Ну, а возможно, что уже в следующем бою планы и тех, и Александра...
I mean, for good reason.
Я вот до сих пор, ну, как обычно, братьев не разделяю. Хотя, конечно же, речь идет о Владимире Кличко.
Oh, I made you a
кто знает,
Badu Jack fan? Dude, maybe we watch Badu Jack versus Jean Pascal. Have we watched that? I don't think we have. I might get a copyright strike. Maybe we do that.
Договорятся.
Oh, more.
I swear to God, I will have this man stop the fight if you don't want to fight. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Do you understand that? Michael, do you understand that? Look, if you freaking don't want to fight, then you freaking might as well stop right now. Are you going to stop fighting? You're behind in this fight. Damn it, take this. You're behind in this fight.
Michael Moore is losing this fight, comes out, and just becomes vicious, and then wins the fight. Now, I hope you guys know what happened with Michael Moore after this. Michael Moore wins because of Teddy Atlas' little pep talk.
6 minutes of your best boxing. Can you do that for me? I don't care about what happened before. Give me 6 minutes. Look at me. Look me in the eye. I'm still proud of you. Give me 6 minutes of your best.
And I hate to say it, but once good left uppercut instead of
This is versus Manny Pacquiao.
Pacquiao right on the earlobe. Probably.
Oh, there's a great left hand by Bradley. Pacquiao punch to the fight. And another left hook. And he may have hurt Pacquiao for the first time in their 3 fights together. Bradley has Pacquiao in.
This was a sloppy, hard to judge fight. So look, if you don't like Teddy Atlas, I get it. He's a bit much. He's a bit much. You know. But I do appreciate the fact, the level of just, I'm going to come at you, I'm going to make you super excited kind of things. You know? He gives that energy that I think is really interesting. So, let's see. Hold on. What do I want to do? Hold on. Let me take a quick piss. And when I do that, I will come up with something epic to end the stream with, okay? Okay. I already thought I know the exact thing I want to do before we do a little Butterbean. We have to do a little God, I mean, here we go. Here we go. Let me get this set up. Okay. Let me get this proper. If this does not make you appreciate, let me see. Okay. This will make you appreciate why every minute of boxing is important. That's what I want to do. Tim Bradley was always underrated, in my opinion. I don't agree with you. I mean, I don't disagree with you on that, Jay. I think he was not a big puncher, but was a very solid other departments. I agree. Like his fundamentals were really good. The fight with oh dude, that fight was so crazy. That's a crazy fight. And it just shows what kind of level of like just absolute chin on him. It's one of my favorites. Is that one. That's a good one. Okay, let me see. BT Sports might strike me. So if something happens on your end, let me see if I can get this. Let me see if I can get this fight without having to get a strike. Because, you know. YouTube has not been too kind to me lately. They've been super critical of my stuff. And that's okay. You know, whatever. But I want to show you guys this. Okay, is this going to be good enough? Let me check this. Oh, nope, that's garbage. I'm going to roll the dice. I'm going to roll the dice because this is a massive, like, do you think it will be a good thing for Wilder that the event is postponed and Fury will be quarantining? That's a great question, Shrek. I think that in general, it's good for both guys in a way. If Fury is truly sick, then depending on the severity of the sickness, you know, I think that can play a part. That can play a part in this. Because we saw actually in the Povetkin versus White 2 fight, to your point, if you look at Povetkin's arms going into the second fight compared to the original fight, they were much leaner. And part of that could be from like taking a massive amount of time off because of COVID. So, you know, Fury's talking about coming into the fight at 300 pounds kind of thing and like running over Wilder. And if you're having a moment where you have COVID, like you, depending on the level of what you have and everything else, that could be a big difference. So that's why when you see the like postponing being until October, I get it. You know, like more training for Wilder, and Fury won't be training for a while. That's a great point, Minnie. That's a great point, Minnie. And so, like, it'll be interesting to see Wilder still won't win, in my opinion. I don't think Wilder will win. You're adding so many different elements to this now. A little bit more elements. I would say that, like, Fury, top of his game as a great boxer, should always beat Wilder. But he hasn't fought in over 2 years. And now, is there a decrease or just like no training going on during COVID? Does that affect him at all? And do we get the Fury that happened in the first fight? The Fury that was like taking a bunch of weight off kind of thing? Because he got hit. He got hit in the 9th and in the 12th round and put down. So it just makes me wonder. It just makes me wonder. It adds more elements to the entire fight that make it more interesting in a good and bad way. Bad if you're a Tyson Fury fan. Good in the sense that, like, if you're a boxing fan and you want more complexity in your fight or more elements that could make this a more competitive fight, it's going to make it more competitive, I think. I think it will make it more competitive. It's definitely more interesting, Shrek. I agree with you on that. Okay. So, with that said, one of my favorite knockouts, and it's not Manny Pacquiao. Although I do love Manny. So, at this point, Sam Maxwell over here in the dark trunks is losing. He's like basically done. This fight's over. Now it's just a little bit more interesting. Yep. I just want anything to be more competitive. God knows they need something to be, get pay-per-view sales, absolutely. Even if Fury genuinely has COVID, it's kind of his fault. Jay, I agree with you 1,000% on that. He's been partying, traveling everywhere, not giving a damn. Look, if you're 2 weeks out from a massive fight, regardless, not even massive, just a fight, right? That's your job or the person you hire for your camp manager. Like, you can't be going out in Vegas and doing stuff or, whatever. You need people to create a bubble around you as well as yourself. I agree with you on that, Jay. Like, that's his fault. Absolutely. And you have to be at that point. Fury has been in LA for so long, he's acting like LA twat. You know, he always talked about how everything was about legacy and not money. I don't believe that anymore. I do like Fury, and I used to think he was amazing, but now, not as much. Kind of makes me a little bit more jaded. Who do you think Gervonta Davis should fight next? I think Josh Taylor. Okay. Josh Taylor, in my opinion, Jaden, beats Tank. Because Josh Taylor is a big 140. Like, he's a big 140. A big boy for 140. I think Tank should go down to 135 and 130 and stay there, considering he's like 5'5", 5'6" at max. I don't think he's a true 140. In my opinion, the perfect person for Tank Davis to fight, and this is maybe a little controversial, but the perfect person for Tank Davis to fight, and if he wants to get it, he can get it probably, Devin Haney. The reason I say that, Devin Haney has shown he doesn't have the kind of power that's needed currently. It might change later in his career, but currently he does not have the power to stop someone from coming forward. So now, yeah, when I get close to Mike, I get serious. Devin Haney is perfect for Tank Davis because Tank Davis is a mean, brutal puncher right now. And I think at 135, he can take that email belt away from Devin Haney. I do think he can do that. Before this fight with Barrera, I would have been like, it's kind of 50-50. It's kind of 50-50. Now, I really feel like Tank Davis can take that belt away from Devin Haney. I think he can take that away from Devin Haney because Devin Haney, for the WBC belt, is not ready for that level of power. And Tank Davis is just a little bit sharper, has good ring IQ, and that power comes into play. Now, Devin Haney has a good background, and I think he can box well for a bunch of rounds, but not 12 rounds. That's the big thing. Minnie, I'm glad you enjoy that. I think that's a sharp observation right there from Shrek. I do get closer to the mic. So this is one of my favorite KOs of all time, by the way, boys. Watch this. So the guy in the white trunks is winning. This fight's over. It's the 10th of the 10th round. They're 2 minutes and 27 seconds in. Guy in the dark trunks is losing. It's basically all over. This is why I love this fight.
Sadiri walking straight into a good jab from Maxwell.
Don't give up on a fight. Look at the showboating.
Maxwell, but there's a right-hand counter to the head from Sadiri.
Yeah, and a little cuffing left hook as well.
You could probably KO Tommy Fury. That's not a bad take, Shrek. It's possible.
Oh, good shot from Sadiri. Maxwell takes it well this time.
Good left hook there from Maxwell. But it's Maxwell going back in straight lines. He's putting himself in a little bit of trouble. Sadiri throws.
I mean, this is one of those fun back and forths. You're just like, come on, man. Put it together. Put it together. 1 minute left. 1 minute left.
He turned pro where the Sam Maxwell was really going to be a champion in the making. Sadiri has perhaps shown that there is still a long way to go.
Oh.
He almost went with that left hand.
Don't showboat.
Really joking wrong. We should be jumping all over it. I don't know why he's
Well, one punch there and he'd have been down, surely.
He thinks he's so far ahead. I think that's what it is, and he might be, but
Sadiri certainly believes he's won the fight.
He's winning this round, that's for sure, John.
Look at the time. Look at the time. He's clowning around, hands by his waist.
And Maxwell looking a little bit groggy and a face which tells a story. Oh, great shot! Left hand, right hand from Maxwell. Well, where did that come from? I can hardly believe what I've seen. An astonishing turnaround. He gets to his feet and he stops it. He stops it. Sam Maxwell turns that fight around.
It's one of my favorites of all time, man.
He looked as though he was spent. He looked as though he was all over.
Last round, last 20 seconds, man.
Be gone. And then he produced that. Quite extraordinary.
Unbelievable.
Come on. Come on. If that doesn't give you a little bit of excitement about boxing. Come on, man. In front of his people, too. Jojo Diaz just won, and now is the WBC interim lightweight champion. Jaden, good take. Good. Thank you for that update, man. That should have been Ryan Garcia. Especially against Fortuna. Come on, man. Come on, man. Last round.
And anybody who follows boxing cannot fail to be stirred by that.
He is. He's in camp. Ryan's back in camp.
Not one punch he threw. Even the power shots early in the round, later on in the fight, everything he threw, nothing troubles Sadiri. He looked like he just walked through Maxwell when he wanted to. And then, when he needed it the most, when he's going to lose his undefeated record, he gets his big chance and looks like he's going to blow it. What a right hand that was.
Well, wherever Sam Maxwell may go...
So, it was going to be Fortuna versus Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia bowed out due to mental health, so it was Jojo Diaz who stepped in for Fortuna fight for the interim title. Now, Jojo Diaz claims the interim lightweight title, which is the next in line to fight Devin Haney. We don't know where Ryan Garcia is going to go from here, or who's he's going to challenge, or who's going to fight. That's up to everyone else. Here we go. You ready?
Look at this. Listen again, Sadiri's dominant there. Oh, that was earlier on when he walked with him and he didn't. And then Sadiri will regret that now because where he should have jumped on him. Look at him. Playing the clown.
That's a complicated sport, dude. It's sweet science. I fucking love it beyond belief. I can't express to you how much I love it. Oh my God.
And look at Maxwell. The scream.
Look at that. Tell me that's not beautiful. Oh my God. Boom. One punch.
Dancing around in the ring, shouting to the crowd.
Imagine, dude, it's like a movie.
And sharing the moment with the crowd again.
Unbelievable. What a finish. What a finish.
I mean.
And again, though, every punch, whatever.
Oh my goodness.
Tonight, this kid didn't even blink. And then when
all over. You see this guy won a fight with the guy who lost the fight, who won a fight to the guy who lost, had the belt. Oh my God. That is boxing in a nutshell, Shrek. So much. Oh my God. I mean, that is boxing to a T right there. That is boxing to a T. Okay. So, let's finish the night with our Lord and Savior. I think you guys know what that means. It's super loud. Holy shit, let me turn that down. I've never watched this, so I don't know, but let's pray to Butterbean for Connor's win. Absolutely, buddy. Here we go. Is this too loud? Let me know. UFOvideo.net. I'm finding the weirdest shit on the internet, man. The weirdest shit, like, from way back in the day. The kind of shit you can't find anymore. Look at this. This is like 10. This is like 210 freaking quality. This is like 2005. Jojo just called out Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney This algorithm is so confused at your history. Dude, Shrek, the algorithm does not give a flying F about my history because they don't care because I don't have a huge giant chest that I flaunt in front of young men. They don't treat me super well, so I don't really care what they have to say. It's not too loud, but it's too violent. I just turned down it because the music's terrible, man. The music's just god-awful. Hold on, I gotta find something better than this. This is not the way to do Butterbean. Jesus Christ, this is bad. This is to a level that I can't even stand, man. This is so bad. It's just so ugly. We don't want that. Larry Holmes versus Butterbean. We don't want quite that. We want this one. We want this one. Something from 2009 slideshow video. Exactly. Yeah, we don't want that. I want to leave you guys with a little bit better quality than that. I want to entertain you guys a little bit more than that. How about that? You know, I try really hard on this channel to come through for you guys. If I see one more video of a Photoshop Butterbean fighting Mike Tyson, I'm going to snap. I know, man. It's so bad. Look at Butterbean. With the 4th of July just around the corner. Just what we just had. God bless Butterbean. Look at that face. I know, Butterbean with the girls. No emotions. Nothing. You know this is old school because it's in Russian. But it's better quality than what I just had, so. And this is legendary. Only 400 pounds of pure Butterbean. He thick. He thick AF. Sheesh, he's thick. I mean, come on, boys. Look how thick Butterbean is, man. Look at, you know it's in Russia when the back is literally painted with an advertisement. Dude's footwork is just beautiful. Oh, he takes down Butterbean. Oh my goodness. Butterbean is not going to have any of this. This won't flush. Yeah, no, don't worry. This is nothing. This is nothing. Boys, this is nothing. This is Butterbean. He could take all of this and then 10 times more. He's just letting his opponent get worn out. He's just letting him get worn out. Is it all over? Come on now. Oh. Guys, we didn't see that. That never happened. That never happened. That never happened. I don't know. That never happened. I don't know what you guys are talking about. That never happened. That never happened. That never happened. That was just a simulation. That was just a video game. That never happened. That never happened. That never happened. I don't know what that was. That was just like a kind of like video game or something, right? That was just a bad dream. Yeah, exactly. That didn't happen. Here we go. Here we go.
Better known as Butterbean, mounted to the ring for the IBA World Heavyweight title against Ed White.
Shake hands. Good luck to both of you.
Here we go. There we go. Jaden, I'm going to be going live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right around 6 my time.
He won this fight by knockout and became the world champion. Despite the fact
July
that this is not the
10th
most prestigious
starts off
title in
with
the world of
Butterbean
boxing,
loss.
Eric's achievement
It's
is
starting to
worthy
get
of great
worried
respect.
about the rest of the day.
Butterbean was not a particularly healthy fellow, but turned out to be a real find for the world of combat sports. During his career, he astounded the world with the number of knockouts that he produced in 20 years.
Classic
But let's
Butterbean.
start from the very beginning. Eric was born in 1966 in Atlanta. His childhood was difficult, with his mother passing away when he was just 8 years old. And
We
constant
don't need
bullying
any
from
of
his
this
peers due to
sad
his
stuff. We
excessive
just
weight.
need to go to
Like many
Butterbean
up
being
and coming
a
champions,
wrecking
believing in
machine.
his skill, Ash went on to win 4
Look
more
at them
tournaments
nips.
in 1990. His string of wins caused him to be noticed by manager Art Dorr, known for his work with former world champion Murray Sutherland. Dorr and Sutherland took Eric under their wing and trained him to become a boxer. At the amateur level, Eric won 56 fights, with 36 knockouts and only 5 losses. But there was one big problem. Ash, who received the nickname Butterbean, tired quickly. His huge mass demanded incredible energy costs.
Peter gets in the chair. Oh, there's a right and a flurry. Oh, Peter's got him in the head.
You can hit Butterbean with anything. It doesn't matter, because it's Butterbean.
After consulting with Art Dorr, they decided that his matches should not last for more than 6 rounds.
Just
Butterbean
like
made his
taking it,
debut in
eating
the
it.
professional
He
ring
doesn't
on
care.
October 15th, 1994. His second and third professional bouts used the 6-round format that they had decided upon.
Yeah, he's not.
He won
he's
both,
lying.
but after the third
Butterbean
fight, he
is
almost
super
fainted
healthy.
from
What the
exhaustion
fuck is
and
this?
shortness of breath. Art Dorr decided that 4 rounds was more than enough. Butterbean was called the king of 4-round fights.
Oh
as
my
most of the
God,
fighters
4-round
were
fights
unable
is
to stand
right,
against
dude. Look
this
at this.
giant.
Look at this.
Most often
This
his
is
rivals were
classic
novices or
Butterbean.
club-level
This is
fighters.
real
But
Butterbean.
there were several matches against other, much more serious boxers.
I'll let you know
Larry Holmes
drinking
among
butter
them.
butter
Regardless of his
10
physical
times a day is
characteristics and weight,
perfectly
Eric had the talent to easily attract viewers. In professional boxing, Eric had 91 bouts with 77
Oh my
wins,
God, that's funny.
58 of them.
Oh my God, Shrek.
It would be impossible for us to show all of his fights in this video. Here are some of the best and
Oh my
toughest we
God,
could
that's
find.
funny.
In the second video, we will go on to talk about Eric's exploits in sumo wrestling, the MMA, and kickboxing.
I mean,
Maybe next time
he's
we'll
just
go for a
perfect.
second title fight.
Tyson says he wants to unify all the belts. If you win on Sunday night, this sets up a possible Tyson matchup. If he wants to get the belt, he's got to go through you.
He's got to have
Yep.
this one too.
Along with the WBC, if he wins those.
If.
The other belts.
That's right.
Okay, good luck to you this weekend.
In 1995, Butterbean fought against the athletic Doug Norris, whom he previously defeated and intended to do so again.
Yeah. I mean, he did it once. Just do it again. I mean, come on. I mean, round 2. Look at this. Round 2.
A month later, Butterbean met his counterpart Paul Springer, who was more physically developed.
You know what they say, when they're more physically developed, they're cheating. Look at the top of his head. Butterbean versus Andy Ruiz Jr. Winner gets a Snickers. I love that. I love that, Jay. How about the Snickers belt?
After some time, Eric
Hold
decided
on,
to
hold
test
on,
the strength of
hold the phone. Hold the phone. There's this Snickers belt that could be on the line. The Snickers belt could be on the line. This is a legit belt, boy. If you don't, I think this is exactly where Butterbean needs to be, in my opinion. Like, he needs to be back here. This is exactly where he needs to be. I think he could easily win this belt. I think it's a prestigious belt. I think he could bring a brand new level of prestige for this belt. Because I think this belt needs to have someone like Butterbean bring it to the next level. The Snickers belt by Andy Ruiz is up for grabs. And I think Butterbean is the perfect individual to capitalize on this and take this home. To be the real Snickers champion. People's champion. I know, Shrek. I know, man. That exists. That does exist. That is a real belt. Is the Snickers champion, and that is Andy Ruiz with it.
Louis Monaco, who was only on his second bout in the professional league.
I only give you guys the straight facts here. All right. Boom. Dude, I know. All I wanted to do was share my love of boxing, but now you're
it took
Eric disciple to Butterbean. Hey, it's not bad though.
As we have shown you in this video,
not
in spite
bad
of his appearance, Butterbean was a boxer.
It's not bad. Look, I just want to say, in all honesty, I know we have fun on this channel. Shrek, Jaden, Jay, I mean, all you guys, Minnie, you guys are so freaking fun to hang out with. Like, you guys are amazing to hang out with. I'm sure there's some lurkers and other people that aren't in chat, but like, let me just say, I'm so thankful for everything. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, we back. Yeah, dude, thank you so much, man. I just love hanging out with you guys and watching this stuff. We're watching, classic fights. We're watching, like, Sonny Liston. I'm not, dude, Sky, brand, like, I don't know if you're brand new or not, but, dude, I truly appreciate you being in here, like, talking facts and stuff, man. Like, it's super fun to have all these people in chat just talking about fighting. I don't know everything. I don't ever claim to know everything. But you guys make it super, super fun. And look, if I get something wrong, like, you guys are there to help me out so we can get this all straightened out, as well as just, like, talk about this stuff. It's a super, super, super fun kind of situation. So thank you guys so much for hanging out and just, like, watching all this stuff, dude. Like, I just feel like I get to hang out with my buddies every Friday and just enjoy boxing. You know, my knowledge of boxing is limited, so it's cool being here. Dude, Shrek, yeah. Like, I don't know everything. I feel like I constantly am just watching and wanting to understand more old school boxing stuff and just, like, hang out. I was here the first time during the Adesanya fight. Glad to be back. Thank you so much, brother, for being back. Hell yeah. By the way, we will be live tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, for UFC 264 for Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. Oh, we will be back for that. We will definitely be watching that. Absolutely. In 20 hours' time, we will be watching that. Absolutely. I hope you guys are super hyped for that. And look, if you're on the Twitch channel, go check out the YouTube channel. I have a bunch of videos. Look, I have a 30-minute breakdown. I have a video that's 8 minutes long just talking about Conor's hunger. And then I give you guys, and look, this is something I personally like, because look, everyone's busy. They don't have the time. I do a 30-second breakdown of the entire fight for you guys. I love to do those, man. 30 seconds, just like 30 seconds. This is what you need to know. Let's go watch this together. You know? Yes, sir. It's always cool to be. Oh, dude. Thank you so much, Jaden. Dustin's a very nice guy, though. I think that Jaden's Dustin's a really nice guy. I think he's a super cool guy. My heart wants Dustin. I should say this. My head says Dustin's going to win. My heart wants Conor to win because him fighting for a belt again is just amazing. Look, I hope you guys are getting a lot of enjoyment out of the channel. Like I said, we do live streams. I mean, we do them on Wednesday for boxing news. We do another one on Friday, every Friday for like Classic Fight Night. Saturday, we try to pick up the pieces and watch some kind of boxing or UFC. I'm trying to do a video every single Monday or Tuesday night. This last Monday and Tuesday, I literally did over an hour of content on the YouTube channel to get ready for UFC 264. It's super fun. I just want to make sure that we can have some fun and just watch all this stuff. So I have like an hour long on Monday, Tuesday. I did 2 hours of live stream on Wednesday. I did another 2+ hours here. We go 3 hours on Friday. We're going to do 8, maybe not 8, but we'll probably do 6 hours on Saturday. It's just super fun, guys. Like, you guys are the reason I do this. It's purely because you guys hang out with me and you know, talk about all this stuff with me. I would not do this if it wasn't for you guys. So Conor vs. Poirier will end in a majority decision. Poirier knows UFC needs Conor. Dude, Sky, good take. How about that, dude? That's a based take. That's a base take right there. Geez, yeah, man. I mean, I'm trying to pour as much of my free time as I can into doing this stuff with you guys. The boxing history is so great and long that very few people can really claim to be super knowledgeable on it. It's hard, man. It's really hard to understand everything in boxing. I never claim it, but it's just fun to kind of like get out there and like try stuff, you know, like Sonny Liston. We just learned some crazy stuff about Sonny Liston and why a 22-year-old Muhammad Ali, well, Cassius Clay at the time, aka Muhammad Ali, was screaming to everyone, I'm king of the world. I'm king of the world. And now you understand why Muhammad Ali winning that fight is such a big deal. Like, that's so fucking cool, man. And now I want to do the same thing. Like, next Friday, we're going to do some Joe Louis. If you don't know Joe Louis, boys, or haven't gone deep in Joe Louis is my all-time favorite pound-for-pound fighter to a level I can't even express. He's my all-time favorite. He is like a goddamn superhero. It just blows my mind he was a real person. It sounds like something from a story or a movie when it comes to that. So the thing is that the people are here all chill and we teach each other new things and new perspectives. Absolutely, Shrek. There's no hate. We all have fun. That's the point of it. I love you guys. I love hanging out with you guys. I think that's part of it too. Like, I learn stuff from you guys. You guys tell me stuff. You know, whether it's people like being like, hey, Chuck, make sure that reach is correct. Make sure this is correct. Like, I love that stuff. Let's make sure we're getting all these facts things so that we can all learn together. Whether it's just like, hey, dude, Teddy Allen is talking about firemen. I thought that was super interesting. Like, I've never heard that like game point from like Freddie Roach giving his 2 cents about that. That was super cool. Like, I love that. I love hearing that kind of stuff. Dustin Poirier is wearing red shorts. It's panties night. We should have a fighter of the week. Well, I mean, every fighter of the week is Butterbean. Come on, Shrek. You know this. Every week is Butterbean is the fighter of the week. No, I agree. I'm going to try to, if I can find more time, I'm going to try to do more stuff for you guys. I'm sorry if I'm lacking a little bit, but I'm going to try to get more stuff for you guys. If you guys want a Discord, or if you guys want anything like that, like a Discord or any kind of like, if I can add anything for you guys, let me know. If it's adding other platforms, if it's Facebook, you want to add like Facebook into the stream and content because you want to watch on Facebook, I can do that. Whatever it is, let me know. I am more than happy to. If you look at my about section, I always have my email. Like, you guys can always email me stuff. Give your like absolute like feedback. By the way, share with anyone you feel like wants to enjoy this stuff and hang out with us. The Glove Talk Empire. Look, I'm not someone that's trying to get like, I get no money from this, and I don't want money from this. I just want to hang out with you guys and talk about this stuff. But if you feel like, hey, I have a brother-in-law, I have a buddy, I have someone that like would kind of enjoy this, like bring them in. Like, we're just here to have fun. I have buddies like my buddy Wes, you guys will see in chat. Like, I've known Wes for, God, 28 years. And like, he's not a like fighting guy, but like he has fun with it, you know? If I'm on, I'll be on Twitch tomorrow, but next week I'll be done with Twitch. Dude, Shrek, you got Trovo. You got Trovo or YouTube. I'm always on that, you know? So, anyways, guys, thank you guys so much, man. I know I'm rambling. But I just can't thank you guys enough, because even though we have this tight-knit community of fight fans and combat sports fans, like, dude, it makes me feel so happy every time I get online and just talk to you guys. Like, all you guys make me feel so happy to just do this kind of stuff. And look, it has nothing to do with numbers or anything. Like, I don't care. I could talk to you guys every single week, multiple times a week for doing this stuff. It's just a lot of fun. And I just want you guys to know that, like, I want to give you guys as much as possible. Like I said, Discord, or if you guys want other platforms for me to do, just let me know, man. I just want to like support you guys, because I think it's awesome that you guys support me and just hang out with me and watch this stuff and let me ramble about boxing stuff. So anyways, tomorrow, 6 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we will be doing UFC 264, boys. UFC 264 is jam-packed, and we will get Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier, the trilogy. If you want to see my take on it, it is on my YouTube channel. You guys know how to find that stuff. I have 30 seconds. I have 30 minutes. I have 9 minutes. I have a bunch of videos there for you guys if you just want to check that out and get my general take. If not, I will see you tomorrow, dude. It's so fun. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think Conor's going to win. Personally, the head says Poirier, the heart says Conor, the Notorious. And with that said, boys, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Oh, one more thing. Now that I think about it, hold on. We got to do one thing. One thing. We got to do this. And I think it's important we do this. Thank you. Thank you, Jay. If you guys are on Twitch, we got to do this. It's mandatory. It's mandatory. We have to do this. And it's just to say, you know, thank you to everyone that's on Twitch. So, Happy, if you guys don't know Happy, go say hi to him really quick. He's a super nice guy. He plays one of my favorite games. If you're on Twitch, we're going to raid him really quick. So, boys, go say hi. You don't have to stick around forever. I'm not saying like anything else other than that. You don't have to sub to anyone. I'm just saying, let's just say hi to him. Because, you know, let's give some love to some other channels that are doing awesome content. Like super awesome content. Happy's one of them. Let's raid them right now, boys. Let's raid them right now. Give him some highs. Give him some like, what's going on, man? His name, okay, I'll give you guys his name if you're not on there. Hold on 1 second. Okay. So his name. There you go. Check him out, man. Jaden, if you want to check him out, go ahead. So, boys, go say hi to Happy. Give him some love. Super cool guy. Super cool guy. And we'll see you tomorrow.